We're starting with Crowstorm, or got Darkwind because they're playing right now, and then we're gonna switch to Crowstorm as we go. That's game one.
Oh, this shit. Let's go. We've got tournament codes.
Tournament codes. Buttered popcorn's what you're getting out of that? I guess I get that on the aftertaste. Nah, I can buy it. Now that I'm thinking about what I'm tasting. Huh. For the stream, we just went to Hy-Vee, got Starlight Coke. The aftertaste is kind of like buttered popcorn is what we've decided. Oh, the rest is mine? Oh boy. What a treat. It doesn't, it just says space flavored on it. It doesn't actually say or suggest what flavor it's supposed to be. But it's like vaguely fruity when you start drinking it, and then it has like an aftertaste like buttered popcorn. It's an experience for sure. What is your name now? Tom Simp still? Yeah. I don't know if I lost you. Maybe you're eating. Maybe you're having some buttered popcorn to go with this.
I wish. I'm wrapping up, well, I wish I was wrapping up. I'm currently attempting to finish preparations for session 1 of my new campaign tomorrow night.
Oh. That sounds fun, rewarding.
I think it'll be fun.
Hopefully fun.
Yeah.
I've seen some very funny things for D&D. I don't know. Alright. Oh god. Okay, so the boys are blue side. Which means that I probably need to figure out like a logo and stuff for the other team. Would you keep an eye on that draft for me? Because I'm not...
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Junior, they're... ice. They're there. That's weird. I thought they were like purple or pink on the thing. So it's Iceborne Legend and Darkwind to start with, and then the other game is VBU Monster Mash. I don't know what VBU is.
Love that.
Doing some rule sharking, it looks like.
Just a bit.
we do some rule sharking here.
We do just a few roll sharkies here.
We don't know what the punishment is, so we asking right now. Yes, we.
I love how there's like 6 different people from the enemy team who are responding, and there's only 5 of them.
Well, I like that the one that's doing it most is their spectator,
Yeah, huge fan of that too.
their coach trying to get every advantage for him, I guess. Respect, you know. Oh shit, we hit the sub goal. I can start a new goal. Pog.
Well, this has devolved significantly.
I like that they're just in the entirely wrong order too.
Oh yeah.
We're really getting it right now. One ban per person.
I'm on the new link now.
I'm gonna keep it on the old until the new one starts, just so we can figure it out. Okay. Oh, I didn't know you could make it with loss of bans. That's kind of neat, but like also kind of like
One of the things I like about draft LoL.
I should have just given the other team the other day just one with a bunch of bans lost. See if they caught on, seeing as they gave us a draft with no bans in it. They probably wouldn't have noticed, right?
Right.
Anyway.
Okay, now we're drafting.
We do a little drafting here. All right. Well, Iceborne Legend, we're ready. Anyway, welcome to week 4 of the Runeterra Academy Junior Division. I'm Maris. I've got Oath with me. We got Darkwind versus Iceborne Legend. Darkwind's 1 and 2. Iceborne Legend's 2 and 1. How are you doing, Oath? Are you ready for some exciting League of Legends action?
Oh, absolutely. I'm particularly a fan of the pre-lobby drafting conversation. You may notice if it's up on the stream that we only have the 2 bans.
Yeah.
From Ice before we get the first ban from Rodham.
And
that's
Rodham
Teemo.
throws away their 3rd ban. This is some gamesmanship. I wonder if they're going to
Huge
forego
fan
their
of
last 2 bans? Sorry, Teemo is Teemo, my bad. Excellent. That's...
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
This is good.
Alright, well, we'll see if I can back up some of that, but...
It's gonna be a banger when we lose with only a Teemo ban. I do appreciate that, despite the obvious sarcasm, there is still the competitive spirit going on. It's gonna be Sivir first. I kinda like that. You don't see enough of that character anymore.
Yeah, Yabby is an insane person, and Sivir fits into a niche that he does pretty well. It's weird, when I think of Yabby, it's like, you know, insane-no, all-in mechanical, like, on Tristana and Ezreal, but then it's also just playing Kog'Maw and Sivir and just zerging people. Anyway.
Yeah, that fits fairly well. And then we've got absolutely by far the worst AD carry in the entire game matching up against Sivir here. And a Frog.
And a Frog. They have unbenched this champion. It looks like a bug on stream almost. I don't know if it's just my spectators a little dark. It looks like I am Kench rather than Tom Kench. But...
Interesting.
It might just be because I'm casting off of half of a screen on OBS.
That's entirely possible. Yeah, we've got Arcane, the character, along with Thanos in the top lane. Most assumedly in the top lane. Has been showing up in support recently in a bit in LCS. There's a Blitzcrank. That's way more interesting than what I was talking about.
Yeah, Blitzcrank kind of the... I don't want to say de facto counter to Tom Kench, but very good into Tom Kench support. You can grab away the AD carry, and Tom can't do a whole lot about it. You can grab Tom and break his shield with the ult. Good character against the Frog. And Jarvan, locked in for Pickaxe, one of his big comfort picks. So, Darkwind, not the, you know, big prio picks, but ones that I think are fairly good given the situation. And if that's locked in, that would be quite interesting as a counter to Jarvan.
Yeah. Huge Fiddlesticks hover. Actually Fiddlesticks. Legitimately the real Fiddlesticks, ladies and gentlemen, in my jungle. Okay. So I'm not really sure what that's meant to do in this game. Like, it doesn't seem like it has any particular fantastic counterplay into the 3 champions that have been selected. Maybe it just likes Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, for what I know about Fiddle, I mean, you can't die to Jarvan now, which is kind of good. Like, Jarvan can't go invade and kill the jungler. Even if you go in and 2v2, Fiddle's kind of difficult to kill just with the Jarvan pick. Until level 6 at least, you can throw him in the jacuzzi and then Fiddle has no way out. But...
Syndra Zoe, Tryndamere, Malzahar, we're just removing a whole lot of gameplay features from the game. No not die, no suppress, no bubbles, no button.
Big fan of the Malzahar and Tryndamere bans. Those are not the most exciting champions to watch in the League of Legends cinematic universe. So if he locks in the Ari, that would be 3 bans and then a takeaway from Lost, which might start to pinch his pool just a little bit.
And so we get Ari.
There's a lot of talking going on in the chat, is why we're a little
Yeah,
distracted.
I'm trying to follow that as well, so.
Twisted Fate is locked in for Lost, which is a thing that's happening, as well as this continuing banter back and forth.
Yeah, a lot of conversing happening. I really hope we're not redrafting this. That would make me upset.
Well, Gragas to finish off the team comp. That's maybe not the pick that I would expect for cards with this team comp. You have a lot of mobility, go fast, AoE team fighting, and then Gragas can kind of just blow it all apart. It does maybe help pick the Jinx out, which seems like the one thing that you need to do with this comp, but yeah, we'll see how well that works. And the Scion's going to be the counter for Iceborne.
Okay, we're back. Lots of things interrupting this draft, unfortunately. I catch myself up on the lobby client chat. My roommates had things they needed.
I like that. We're not trying to be dickheads. Well, you are. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Well,
all right.
we're into second draft, so I guess we just stopped having that conversation in order to have a different conversation. I'll fix.
Yeah, I think the accepted stance, given the Teemo ban and the general atmosphere, is that Crowstorm, if they're believe if they're better, they're just better. So they're gonna win despite the rules. Conversation, let's call it. And this is definitely a draft to do it with, I suppose.
I don't like that he's just. I mean, so I understand you want to do the bans the same as you did in the draft law because the stats are actually captured for this league. But at the same time, waiting a full 30 seconds for the ban to lock in is kind of hurts. Just a bit to sit here and wait 30 full seconds.
Yeah, I'm not going to like pretend that I'm the type of person who can fill that much time with draft analysis, knowing that I'm looking down this list of champions and I don't really know how this game shakes out, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
A lot of these characters break the rules, so to speak, of like standard League of Legends. So like Twisted Fate circumvents the whole disadvantage he should have in the Ahri lane by, not wasting gold card and then just roaming after 6. So he basically doesn't actually play the game in his lane, or shouldn't. This jungle matchup kind of cancels each other out in a similar way. Gragas Scion doesn't seem like it's particularly explosive. This feels like one of those odd Season 12 League of Legends games that probably isn't going to be decided in the first 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, it definitely feels like both teams have very different ideas about what they want to do and accomplish. But I think the big overarching factor is that both teams just kind of want to sit and scale for a little bit in this game. The Jarvan is the one pick that has a little bit of early agency. Maybe Ahri as well, but TF kind of negates that if played correctly. So we probably won't see a whole lot of early action. It's just going to be sitting, scaling, trying to get some items on these 80 carries so that Jinx and Sivir are going to be the stars of our show later. Um, that'll be Milktra. Milktra? It's got an accent, and it's probably like an actual accent and not, somebody who maybe just threw in some random characters just to make it harder to OPGG them.
I wouldn't know anything about
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, Milktra and Yabby gonna go head to head down there in the bottom lane. Well,
Yeah, this will be a very interesting first game, kind of setting the tone for their series. Because if either one of these drafts doesn't work, it feels like this is the type of draft that you kind of go back to the drawing board with.
yeah, I really doubt that we'll see the same group of characters picked in the next game, regardless of outcome. Maybe if it's a 55-minute banger, they go back to the well, but
Yeah, I can see that, but
I really hope it's not. I don't think it will be. With knowing the guys from Darkwind, I don't think that they would put up with the game for that long. So we'll see
yeah.
something happen at that point. But yeah, we got 3 minutes more of spectator delay. This is the Darkwind game taking on Iceborne Legend. We're going to jump in when we can as well to Crowstorm. They start here in about 7 minutes, so they might actually catch us during this game. But Crowstorm is taking on VBU Monster Mash in the other game. And yeah, we're just going to jump back and forth in between them as much as we can, hopefully get some fun games. And yeah, it's a big week for both teams. 1 and 2 right now for Darkwind. Really could use this win to get level with a playoff team, get those tiebreakers potentially at the end of the split. Both of these teams realistically should be in playoffs, but something could go wrong down the stretch here. And then Crowstorm sitting at 2-1. They're facing a team, I believe, toward the bottom of the standings, so they really should just look to secure that win and hopefully keep their momentum going. I'm actually wrong. They're 2-1 teams in the other game. I'm just talking out of an orifice of mine. I don't know where I was looking at, but yeah, we'll keep an eye. We'll bounce back and forth. I'll try to keep everything as updated on stream as possible and as streamlined as we can. But here for game 1, Iceborne Legend with the Ari Jinx comp. The Fiddle is the weird pick, I think. That's the one that really sticks out in this whole draft. What do you think?
Everything else you can just assume is like you swap the Fiddlesticks for Xin Zhao. You're just playing LCS pretty much. Like you could take that comp and you could slot it into like 3 or 4 different professional teams and be like, yeah, I could see them all picking those champions. Fiddlesticks, on the other hand, kind of tosses a wrench into the whole we're playing to cater to the meta specifically.
Sorry, I'm just looking through a couple of things really quick before we get loaded in. 13 seconds to go. Thanks, guys, for joining us. If you don't follow the stream, please hit the follow button, as that does help support us and the boys. And yeah, the calm before the storm here, as it were. We'll get a little more hyped as we get into game. But for now, thanks for joining us, and we'll load into the Rift and see what our teams have in store for us tonight. I'm staring at a black screen right now, for the record.
Yeah, same.
Flip it over. I'm also tabbed out, which makes me a little worried. Okay, I got characters on the screen.
That happened all at basically the exact same time. I was staring at blackness for quite a bit. We love red spectate client. Yeah. It works totally fine every patch and nothing breaks ever. I
Yeah.
also don't use that line every time I cast, so
We've never once had, maybe the entire spectate client break in the middle of one of our casts before.
mm-mm.
Or maybe it happened 2 weeks ago. Who knows? This is quite a load. Um, yeah, Fiddle has Predator. That's kind of neat.
I like that. It's pretty cool. Everything else seems really standard. Uh, love the nod to the Hail of Blades Tom Kench support. Really just disgusting champion all around.
All right, I've loaded in to a black background.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Already has 3 ult charges at level 1, so that's kind of cool. I can hear some stuff happening. Well, what a fun experience. Are you still just chilling here?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll give it another couple of seconds and then might just have to Alt F4 here and see what happened.
Oh, click on the bar.
Oh yeah, that's a trick that we've done before. Okay.
And then fast forward all the way up to, where we're
Yep.
supposed to be.
Okay.
Hey, developments.
We did it. There's a stack in the bush and a stack in top lane, which is very strange, actually. This isn't going well for either side, and neither
Nope,
side's
not
going to
particularly.
have any particular information about anything happening in this video game. But Rodham not seeing anyone might worry them just a little bit. I think that they're in a better knowledge position than Iceborne is. Iceborne at least know that their bottom side hasn't been invaded, but that's the only slice of information that they have. And 2 wards going to get dropped down by Darkwind as we head to our lanes. Yabby and Banana are going to have to zoom down there. This
Yeah,
is a bit of a
they're
journey.
on demon hours right now, trying to get to the spot lane in time to not miss
Oh,
EXP.
the ward at the red buff. Who started with a red ward? That's Fiddle, right?
That would
Fiddle
be
started 1 pot and a red ward?
yeah. No, that checks out.
Okay.
That will
Yeah.
give that will interestingly enough give Scion level 2 off of first wave, I believe.
Yeah, the ward kill will give him level 2 off of first wave. I don't think that matters super much in the Gragas Scion matchup, but
No, shouldn't, but
I think the
yeah.
bigger thing is that
Good meme.
Heyman Karn is going to know like 100% that Pickaxe has started on his blue side because he saw the ward go into that red, right? And you wouldn't have enough time probably to recall and go to your red buff.
I mean, it kind of depends on how quickly they got out there. If they were running to invade red immediately, specifically, you could definitely get that ward down in time. But if you assume, which they could, that they pathed top lane as a stack before doing that, or took
What is this
the
call from Pickaxe though?
circumvented.
He's immediately figured out that Fiddle is on wolves somehow. I guess they never saw him cross over. I'm actually baffled how Fiddle was able to avoid. So he not only knew that there was a ward in his red pit, but he specifically avoided the ward in the like battle bush by raptors. When he walked around, I don't know if you saw his path that he walked around, but he specifically avoided walking through that bush.
Yeah. Which normally, like to me, if he avoids walking through that bush, you would assume that he's actually just on Krugs, right?
Mhm.
And then took the circumvented path down to where he should be, or maybe to look at top lane, then go for Scuttle Crab. But no,
Yeah, and
And
Karts
now
has
they know
figured out.
for a fact that he's just at Krugs
Oh, there's
because
things
he had the
happening in
lead
mid lane. There's a
wolves.
gank. Nezumi is dead. That's first blood immediately for Lost in Rotation, as they lost track of Pickaxe. He had swapped back to his top side, and Nezumi just gets Flash Ignite gold carded into the Flash EQ from Pickaxe, and there's not a whole lot that you can do against that much damage early on. So that's a huge win for Darkwind on their jungle tracking early on. They get the double crab as well. So Fiddle's going to be up in CS temporarily, but he'll be behind later. Knockup not going to land from Hoshiyumi, and Banana and Yabi going to go ahead and back out for now.
Yeah, and because of that, Pickaxe is just taking
Oh,
complete ownership
the
over this
double
jungle.
knockup though. Yabi's low. He gets ignited and taken down by the rocket from Milktra. The hook not quite going to be able to connect there from Banana, but a 2v2 kill on the bottom side for Iceborne Legend, and they're get on the board.
Yeah, very illegal, unethical character in my bot lane experience. He just kind of gets to do that on cooldown, because what are you gonna do? Punish Tom Kench? Haha,
Yeah,
good meme.
looking for the dive here. Hoshiyumi wants to tank. He's still got his gray health. Banana's very low. The Ignite burning him down in the last tower shot. He'll trade it back, but that's 2 kills on Milktra. And yeah, Jinx is 2-0.
I know from personal experience that Jinx is an incredibly weak character, and her being 2-0 matters in no way here.
Yeah, I also think it's interesting that Yabi went back, bought Boots and a Cull. Just kind of leaning into the scaling, I'm going to be 3-item Sivir eventually mentality. But kind of, further sacking what's already been kind of a rough early game down there for him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a direct response to the fact that you just died and you just watched your support get 1-for-1 traded under tower. Like you're effectively closing this lane out. You're like, nah, we're just gonna farm now. We're not doing anything else. Nothing else is happening here.
Yeah.
Given that, I would expect Banana to start roaming fairly soon, actually.
Yeah, Lost has level 6 as well. They could look for a top lane gank onto Coterie, or I'm not really sure. Your options start getting a lot lower for TF when, you're just going to perma shove with Sivir underneath this tower. Pickaxe looking maybe to make something happen down here. He's an alcove gamer, as, you would expect.
Yeah, in fact, alternatively, the Cull is just a bait, and you want them to assume that you're not going to fight them at all. In which case, you get to do stuff like this, where Pickaxe burns a ton of time.
Oh, I think he
Oh, that
pulled the
minion.
minion into the bush. I think that they might have briefly seen him. They didn't react, though. The knockup going to land onto Hoshiyumi. They don't have the shield break yet, but there's the heal coming out from Milktra, and Pickaxe will be able to escape the Flame Chompers. So, just a Summoner's Spell burn, just the heal, but, maybe a worthwhile small investment of time. You can make that work later on.
Yeah, I mean, you are waiting for camps on bot side to come up. You can leave your blue to sit there for a little while, so not a ton of investment actually on Pickaxe's side.
Yeah, I do like that. Coterie's going to walk over, hit the Scrying Orb, see that the blue buff is up and not the wolves, which should be an interesting tidbit of information for him. And Cards checks, sees that Scion roams in there, so make sure that it's not gone. And I haven't decided. You like Heyman Karn?
I like Haman Karn.
Haman Karn?
I don't think there's anything like that would specifically make the first A long.
That seems fair. All right, Haman Karn. If that's wrong, somebody let us know in chat, as always. But yeah, Haman Karn now with the level 6, so that just means that Pickaxe and the 2 supports are the ones left, but he'll have Crowstorm available to go over this long wall, and Banana and Yabi have to be a little bit careful here. He'll get Crowstorm plus, now he's turned into a harmless Scarecrow, so he'll have his extra movement speed to zip on in there and get some fears down.
Yeah, they're gonna go when these three Minions die here, yep.
Yep, there it is, right onto Yabby. He's able to spell shield the Flame Chompers, just trying to use the ult, but the Super Mega Death Rocket from Milktra is there. Pickaxe with the disengage flag, and Banana really has nowhere to go, trying to overload out of there, gonna punch a Scarecrow, but in comes Nezumi for the cleanup. Milktra is 4-0 on the Jinx, and it should be a dragon secured for Iceborne Legend. Pickaxe gonna have to zip on out of there.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that's pretty cut and dry, right? Like, that's just what Fiddlesticks does at level 6. So, good conversion, everybody rotated properly. And the combined efforts of heal, spell shield, and ulti not enough to get Yabby out of there.
Yeah, Lost, forced to evacuate toward the bottom side of his lane, but currently, 50% of the kills, and now Pickaxe looking to turn something around for him. Banana able to hook, but the immediate eat follows up into the Destiny in his own lane. They'll pick up 2 kills as Pickaxe and Lost traded on out. Hoshiyumi does finish off Pickaxe, though, and takes control of the red buff, so a trade back for our Iceborne Legend, but Lost continuing to accelerate his twisted fate here in the mid lane.
And then also sometimes your character just does this, and you're at the enemy ADC's tower a level up, despite the fact that the enemy ADC is 4-0 and you're 0-2. Just silver things.
Just silver things.
Honestly.
Yeah. Kind of interesting. Even going for a Pickaxe next, I'm actually very curious what Yabby's building.
We're just farming.
Yeah. He is up 20 CS. That's not a negligible amount. That basically makes up the kill value of one of those kills. So just pretend he's either 1 and 2 or Milktra's 4 and 1, I guess. Something like that. I don't know exactly how you want to think about that one in your mind, but Milktra headed, it looks like, for the Gale Force. So we'll have some Gale Force gamers in this one. Maybe that's what Yabby's doing. He just got his pickaxe first. I hope that's what it
possible?
is. I really hope it's not just lethality late.
It doesn't seem like it would be given the pickaxe buy, but I honestly couldn't tell you myself.
Yeah.
This is gameplay.
Yeah, Coterie thrown into the jacuzzi. They know that he has no flash, and cards should just burn him down with the Bomby Cinder. No, they're going to hand it over to Pickaxe with the auto attack. He's scaling. Cards is not building AP, so might as well.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Card's not going the damage Gragas variant. He wants to be the just the wall, the disengage. So why not give the money over to your jungle?
Yeah, Pickaxe headed for his Gore Drinker. And all of a sudden, it's even in kills, and about 1,000 gold lead right now for Darkwind. They're going to slide into this Rift Herald as well, and shouldn't have any worries about a contest. Maybe a random Crow Storm, although they should be pretty decently defended against that. Well, for all that we were talking about how it might be a slow early game, we do have 10 kills in 12 minutes, so that's not, the slowest game. We like that.
No, this isn't. This has been more action than I assumed that I was going to get this game, so I'm pretty happy.
Still more action than all of those Philly B games we casted combined.
How true.
Those were some slow early games. I'm still upset about that. Oh, the charm out of the Flag and Drag. That's pretty nice from Nezumi, and he'll be able to walk out of the gank in mid.
Yeah. First Mythic up on the board is the Everfrost for Lost. 2-0 on this TF. Definitely can start doing things around the map, should his team desire that. I don't know where exactly you would go, but...
Banana just zipping in. Haman Karn hanging around in that bottom lane. We're going to have a 3v3. We'll see if it's another good Crow Storm from him, able to get onto Yabby. And in comes the Crow Storm plus the Tom Kench. They're going to get onto Banana immediately and take him down. Yabby hits the On the Hunt, trying to turn it back around with the help of Pickaxe, but there's just not quite enough damage to chew through anyone. And so Darkwind forced back underneath the tower. Another clean kill in the bottom lane for Iceborne Legend. Unfortunately, Hoshiyumi picking that one up.
Yeah, very clear and obvious game plan here for the side of Ice. They know exactly what they're win condition is at this point in the game, and they're just playing around that.
Yeah, Pickaxe still holding on to that Rift Herald. He's only got 30 seconds before turret plates drop, so yeah, just gonna drop it now. He's got to be careful. Ooh, that turret shot would have been enough to kill him. Get a heal from Yabby, as now Shelly will crash on in and get a couple. Why is he staying? Don't stay. Like, I know Banana and Lost are making a play, but he's got 100 health. That's just a Jinx rocket away.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a little bit of concern over this dragon.
Well, it looked like maybe a blue buff. That's a well-timed hook. That's actually a really nicely timed hook from Banana. It might sacrifice himself, unfortunately, but now with Yabby's help, gonna be able to get away. Oh, the stun, the flash tongue from Tom Kench. The big Tom Kench
Pickaxe is still
mechanics, and
here,
now
and
Nizumi's over here. Zips on
yep.
over the wall with the Spirit Rush. It's a shutdown going to Ari. Big hook over the wall onto Milktron. Do they have the damage? Just not quite enough. The TF gate coming in, looking for that gold card. There is a kill on the back end. That's a huge shutdown for Lost. Underneath the tower, though, Yabby trying to stay alive, but the dash in from Nizumi gets the reset. Does he have enough health? He just lives. Lost looking for it. The flash over the wall will get the Ari out to safety. Nizumi with a pretty big play on the bottom side to pick up that one. But more gold being funneled into the Twisted Fate.
Yeah. Uh-huh. No. For every kill that Milktra picked up in this early game, Lost now has plus like an extra 30 CS.
Yeah, Cards and Coterie just doing the thing in the top lane. I'm surprised that Coterie is handling these trades so well from Cards. It looks like Cards has been playing them pretty well. He's got the finished Mythic first, but Coterie is a tanky boy on the Scion.
I'm kind of surprised that, oh.
Oh, that's a hook from Banana looking for Nizumi, but the eat from Tom Kench is there. The shield is huge. In comes Yabby, but I just don't think that there's enough damage. Teleport now from Coterie as they're looking to get down onto the Sivir. He'll Gale Force out, but this is a rough contest for Darkwind. I don't think that they can look for this now with Banana down.
Yeah, I agree. I think you let this one go. They take the first two dragons. We see what kind of rift we've got. Then you start looking to stack, maybe, if that's your goal this game.
Ooh, knockup gonna land on the Pickaxe, almost into that unstoppable onslaught. Crowstorm coming in from Haman Karn. He's looking for cards. They'll finally finish him and Pickaxe off. It's a double kill again for the Jinx. Yabby just staying alive on the outside. Hook not quite gonna land there from Banana, as now he's getting zapped underneath the tower. Shut down again for Lost, as he's able to pick Haman Karn out of the crowd. I don't know why that particular word was such an issue, but 12 to 8 now. Return of the Middle Sticks getting a couple back there in mid. I think that's just a 2-for-1 though, all things considered, and still Iceborne, when they're grouped up, when they're in stacks of more than 2, it feels like Iceborne has had a pretty big advantage in this game, but anytime we see Lost get involved, good things have happened.
Yeah, definitely gonna be the only real catalyst to play around. Unfortunately, Yabby's not in the bush, so he doesn't see that control ward. Yeah, definitely the de facto only option for plays for Return of the Middle Sticks, at least for the time being. They've got some tools to work with, but Yabby definitely still farther away from the I'm 3-item Sivir Fear Me option that he's going for than he probably would like to be at this point.
Yeah, Lost looking for the pick now. They're going to jump onto the Tom Kench. Here, he's still got the gray health available, and Lost just going through his rotations of spells. It's just not quite enough. Pickaxe very low, but he's not quite able to get out. Now the collapse coming in. Coterie able to pick up one. We're watching Nizumi kill a ward, so I'm assuming no one else is going to fall. But Iceborne able to take advantage of just the lack of damage from Return of the Middle Sticks. Not quite able to chew through Hoshiumi in time.
Yeah, Tom Kench continues doing Tom Kench things and being Tom Kench, therefore he cannot die. This also is probably going to be the Herald for the side of Ice. I don't really see any contest happening there. Maybe we get a push in mid while that's happening. Mid tower is fairly low, but really Yabby's the only one there to get that done.
Ooh, an interesting. They're giving it to Coterie on the Scion, so setting Scion up for some split push duty right now, and it's been hard for cards to really match him. He's doing pretty well keeping up in CS, but we just haven't seen the same impact from the Kragus that we've seen from the Scion so far.
Yeah, one of these characters really good at side laning. One of these characters maybe not quite as good at side laning. And it feels like Cards has kind of had a difficulty finding a footing. The one play that he did get to make based around the team, he TP'd into Crowstorm, which kind of sucks for him. That does account for his only death so far, so good job surviving the weaker early game that you have.
Yeah, for now, we're still pretty even game state, all things considered. It's 6 kills in the advantage, but because Rodham have been hitting the minions a little bit better, they're within 500 gold of each other. The two dragons are going to be the big advantage that Iceborne has, and they'll look to leverage here as they look to continue stacking. I didn't put the dragon timers up there. There we go. I've now hit the button, and you can see that there's 1 minute 15 seconds to go on our next dragon, which is the Hextech dragon, which apparently doesn't have an emblem in the client right now. So that's nice. You know, the 5 elements: air, water, ground, fire, and Hextech.
Yeah, and the science magic.
And poison. But we don't talk about that one.
No, that's a character now.
It's a couple. That's Singed Erasure. Anyway, little invade coming in from Pickaxe, Yabby, and Banana. They're going to find a ward here, and maybe be a little bit more worried than about their chances. Karts has his Unleashed teleport, so he can join. But for now, the mid-prio, really the objective for Iceborne. They're going to hit this tower. They should be able to take it down here relatively shortly. With Milktron and Nezumi stacked up as they are. Nezumi's actually opted for the Elixir of Sorcery, so very strong right now. Don't want to get charmed by that Ahri. Banana trying to get around that Raptor, just not able to find it. Yabi able to spell shield the Q. Unfortunately, Sheila gets the charge in. They get the hook back in onto the Scion, but in comes the fight as Hoshiyumi gets the knock up. Nezumi over the wall. The rocket finishes it off as Milktron gets the kill. Yabi trying to get back away. The Crowstorm Fiddle is just enough to be able to finish off Yabi, and it's just Lost and Pickaxe left at the back of this fight. They pick up one kill, but it just isn't enough to turn the fight around, and Lost, he's doing so much damage on the TF, but at the end of the day, he's just playing Twisted Fate. A good zap from downtown from Milktra. Picks up his 8th kill of the game, and now Iceborne Legend looking on their Hextech Soul Point.
Yeah, and that's that little interaction there that we saw, which is probably the reason for the Gragas pick. The explosive cast onto the ulting Fiddle. Fiddle gets stopped midair by the Cataclysm wall, so he's still damaging Yabi at the end of it. I don't know if Yabi would have necessarily lived had the cast gone to its full distance, but yeah, some of these disengages just not quite panning out for Return of the Middlesticks the way they would have liked.
Yeah, now a big lead has opened up. We were talking about how it's just 500. Now looking at 3,000 after this tower presumably goes down. There it is. From the demolished proc from Coterie, and now it's full defensive hours for Darkwind. We're gonna have to see those 3 items hit by Yabi and really see him step up as that primary damage threat, because right now, very secondary to Lost, which just isn't enough damage. Like TF, I don't think at any point really, one rotations in Jinx or an Ahri. That makes it difficult. In comes someone Karn. This is also an option, is just maybe a mistake from the enemy team. Yabi going a little too far forward, though. The charm going to land onto Lost, and everything's falling apart for Darkwind. It's a shutdown going to the Fiddlesticks. Nezumi looking for a little bit more. He's on a rampage as he finds that one. Cask from Cardinals just to try to disengage, but they have more than enough ways to catch back up, and Cards will fall at the end of that one. A double kill for Nezumi, and Iceborne Legend going to run down through mid. Well, they're going for Baron instead, it looks like.
Actually, they're just Tokyo Drift swerving towards a different objective. Maybe they feel they get more off of a Baron power play than they do taking an inhib. I mean, it's 23 minutes. We're still within the window where you feel like maybe you're feeding the Sivir a little bit too much gold by burning an inhib this quickly.
7,000 pickaxe, the last member alive now. Some respawns coming in for return to the middle sticks, but gives himself away by hitting the blast plant. Goes in with the cataclysm, and it's just not enough to get into range. TFL just to get some vision of the Baron dying. And it's 23 to 9, and now they have to get out. Lost has to juke and swerve. Does he have a way out? Can he get back through the Hex Gate? No, he's got to flash the big wall, which luckily he's able to do. So,
Yep, that's a way out. Yeah, no, the mid fight basically was just your pick is now our pick. Understandable, have a nice pick, because that initially looked really good for Return to the Middle Six actually, and then everybody showed up instantaneously, which is kind of the way their team comp works. But it does feel bad to be on the receiving end of that when you've got tools like Gale Force and Flash that are still on cooldown. Your Sivir just ends up in the middle of people with no way out of the middle of people.
yeah, I think the biggest stalling tactic that they've been able to have, these ultimates from Hoshiyumi have been very good, saving key members of his team. It hasn't always been, just sitting on top of Jinx, making sure she's not picked. In that case, it was eating the fiddlesticks out to make sure that pick wasn't completed. I think if they finish off that fiddle, they don't feel like they need to continue that fight. You can maybe back out and salvage the rest of it, but instead the overextension just to try to get him after being spit out by Tom meant that the fight went really poorly for Darkwind, and now Coterie wailing away on a turret down here in the bottom lane, and cards can really not do much except watch, and now Hoshiyumi is here. They've got the Destiny available, looking for a pick in the top lane onto Nezumi, so we're trying to go 1-for-1. That was a good disengage ult. Nezumi still has one dash on the Spirit Rush, now uses it, and in the bottom lane, Yabi trying to clear out the wave, but the engage potential from Iceborne Legend as they do take it down. It's a 1-for-1 cross-map trade. Yabi's still trying to clear this wave out, but the base in shambles right now. The flash forward into the fear from Haman Karn, and the Jinx Rocket just for good measure on the end. Milktra 11-1 and 11 now on the Jinx. Inhibitor down, and they're just making sure the pickaxe can't get a really cheeky engage. I don't know that there's enough damage to follow up anyway, even if he was able to find it, but
I'm not sure that there's enough damage to clear this wave. It looks like they're Iceborne Legend's going to stick around for a little while. Maybe just clear out some minions. They are going to back off now with Lost coming up again after healing up, and Pickaxe is on an adventure at the moment.
yeah, just vibing in his own blue side. They're going to get the snare on to Coterie, and he's gone.
He's
Unstoppable,
out of here.
by the way. Not the right character, but the spirit remains the same. Charm going to land onto Lost. It's a double kill for the Jinx. Meanwhile, they'll finally track down Pickaxe on the other side. And Iceborne didn't need to go all the way back, as it turns out. They can just regroup and charge into the base. Card's going to get eaten up by the Tom Kench, and Yabi very low. Fiddle just able to stay alive. Yabi can't quite finish him off. One more rocket will do it. Milktra picks up his 15th kill of the game. 4 total in that fight, and it's an ace, the Bud Light ace, as we're not sponsored for for Iceborne Legend, and game 1 to
Yeah.
Iceborne Legends.
No, as it turns out, Jinx is a very weak character. Her getting 2-0 and then 4-0 had no game impact.
Well, 1-0 for Iceborne Legend, and return the middle sticks back to the drawing board. I think they probably want to use the ban on not Teemo. Would be a start, and I don't know where to go from there because that's all that they're left to work with after some invasive rule sharking. But
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like I said, the first game of the series, one of these teams is going back to the drawing board regardless. So we're probably just not seeing maybe any of these picks again. The TF felt pretty nice in combination with what Jarvan was able to do early. Outside of that, look at new options.
yep, so we'll take just a short break. We'll be back. Gonna check in on Crowstorm next, it looks like. So just give us a couple minutes.
just cycling League of Legends music on Spotify to keep myself in the zone. Then when we get Enemy by Contemplate Lizards. Huge fan of this song.
Sorry, I really wanted to eat some garlic bread. Alright, let's look at the game.
Observe.
Alright. I have the game up on stream. I need to stop the music.
I have plussed my way up to live.
I have not done that yet. I also need to fix the scoreboard.
Huge.
This is VBUM. Boom. Okay. That'll work. Alright. Yeah, that's happening in bottom lane. A little unlucky. Okay, we're back to live. Garthar's gonna die. It's first blood for Federer on VBU Monster Mash. Alright, well. An abrupt start to the game. But welcome in. This is Crowstorm on the blue side, taking on VBU Monster Mash on the red side. About 4 minutes in, we just saw first blood for Federer on the bottom lane Vigar. But yeah, some pretty interesting picks happening in this game.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of what's happening on my screen right now. Top lane Karma, only psychopaths pick this. I hate this character. But Vivon plays it fantastically, and I don't think English Muffin's going to have a very fun time against it.
Yeah, the top lane Karma, as well as the Zeri pick. Somehow Zeri got through the ban phase, which is kind of remarkable at this stage in her existence. I haven't decided, is the mid lane, do you think that's just Q-tips? Because it's definitely not Q-tips.
It's Q-tips.
That's not how you spell Q.
No, it's not, but...
Like even Q in a line, well, alright. Calm down.
K-tips? I mean, it could be Spanish.
I guess it's K-tips. Yeah.
K-tips. Confirmed.
Alright, well,
K-Tips is dead, by the way.
Yeah,
We kind
regardless,
of glossed over that while we were talking.
the solo kill for X-Craze Hokage as he asserts his dominance there in the mid lane. 1-1, and yeah, even gold. So we haven't missed too much just yet. Just have to keep an eye on some of this. Benji and Garethar actually have just a huge CS advantage, despite that kill on the gank from Panzora. Um, you know, 23 CS is nothing to sneeze at 6 minutes. English Muffin trying to track down Vbon. Panzora is here. They're going to lock him into the Hextech Ultimatum, and Vbon probably doesn't have too many places he can go. Panzora able to finish him off with some of those snips, and now 2-1 in favor of VBU Monster Mash. Both of these teams come in at 2-1, so pretty big game here on the top of the table for both of these teams. I really should put team records somewhere. That's a lot of work, though. Especially when we're
There's also
flipping back
just
and
a
forth.
limited amount of real estate,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I kind of like the way like LCS has it. It's just like small next to it. Anyway, Vbon going for the root. Blazing Cake looking to zoom his way on in on the Viego. Gets the... Oh, doesn't get the stun. Actually, just not quite enough distance, but English Muffin not headed toward the safety of his turret. Instead headed away, trying to buy some time for Panzora to get in. And Cake going to turn into the Camille and be able to hookshot wall dive out. Panzora using the needlework, but not able to get a whole lot done. Flay from Garethar as they're looking to get onto Islamic Samurai. Ooh, that hook able just to be flashed away from by the Samurai himself. And bot lane, it looks like without the influence of Panzora down there, going pretty well for Benji and Garethar. So far. But
Yeah.
with the way Vigar works, you don't need a huge amount of CS. You just kind of want to keep stacking that AP slowly but surely, and then eventually you have Predator, you hit it, you walk at somebody, you kill them.
It is a gameplay loop that Vigar players find themselves in possession of. Outside of that, we're looking at a pretty decent, similar CS kingdom in mid lane. X-Craze Hokage, about 20 CS up.
For chat, we'll jump back into Darkwind after this game. They're in between games, and they'll probably roll Shark again, so they're going to be forever. So we might as well watch some League of Legends while we're waiting for that to happen. But that series is 1-0 for Iceborne Legends. I already put that name out of my memory. But we'll jump back in as soon as we are done with this one. Try to get you the maximum League of Legends action on the stream. Hook from Garethar, ooh, just not quite going to land onto Federer. Really nicely timed Flay, but in comes Panzori. He's exhausted, he's immune, and not going to be able to find a whole lot on this gank.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not immune to the exhaust, so Gwen players stay losing Keck W.
I do think it's interesting just having the confidence to pull out the Gwen jungle right now. I don't feel like it's the strongest pick by any means. Go ahead and interrupt the recall. With Ari and Viego both down here, in comes X-Craze Hokage, gets the charm down onto Federer. The follow-up from Blazing Cake, they'll finish that one off. The Solar Flare not doing a whole lot to really stop I lost my words. Anyway, another kill onto Islamic Samurai. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Vbon is trying to solo kill English Muffin on the Karma. And he's doing pretty well so far, forcing him out with the Hextech Ultimatum. Vbon now with the speed buff, looking for the Mantra Q. Not quite going to land it, but there's the W. Able to dodge out. One more auto, two more auto. There's a Q and a solo kill for Vbon on the Karma.
Hit it. It's so, because like, anytime you see a situation like that happening, you just know that English Muffin either got frustrated so much that the Camille went for a dive, or we're just looking at a scenario where Vbon spent the last minute and a half poking him down with Mantra Q.
Yeah, and now he's up on CS, has the kill advantage. It's just a karma gap, I guess. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, you can't really. You also can't discount the psychological damage that that is playing against Karma top and knowing that you're actively losing to it. You got that going for you as well.
I feel like that needs to be one of the gosh, I this is going to be obscure for you, but uh, the our NBA subreddit used to have a video that they'd play anytime somebody lost to the Phoenix Suns when they were terrible. And
I actually do know about
so
that.
yeah, just Lamau, you lost to the Phoenix Suns. Like anytime you get solo killed by Karma, it should just you got solo killed by Karma, just dancing Karma on your screen. Should probably happen.
Yeah, I like that one. We're gonna see a little bit of light counter jungling here from Panzora, who's gonna steal away the topside jungle in response to that dragon going down. English Muffin landing all of the things and somehow still losing this trade, but Panzora is here.
Yeah, Vbon trying to walk this one out has the W. Don't know where that Q is going, but it doesn't really matter. He got ignited and he's fine. Up in the top lane, has his Moonstone Renewer finished. Cake trying to take the Hex Gate back out, gets interrupted, and unfortunately gets shut down. Islamic Samurai able to take that kill with the... It wasn't the Ignite, it was just his W damage, I guess, that got the kill. Vbon
I
just...
feel like you're only... this is happening on my screen. Gwen is immune. I feel like your only good option there as Blazing Cake is to ult first, because ult will blink you out of the cage, and then you don't have to deal with the W damage that's dropping on you. That's the only real avoidance you get.
Yeah, Vbon gonna get trapped in the Hextech ultimatum. This is maybe the one time you can't quite get away with that as the Karma in second kill of the game going... Well, actually, that's the first one for English Muffin, excuse me, but second time that we've seen him fall in the top lane. Hook gonna land on Islamic Samurai. I don't think Benji has a huge amount of damage right now. Yeah, still not quite to Trinity Force, which honestly by itself isn't a huge spike. It's really that second item that comes through for Zeri, where she's super dangerous. Cake up in the top lane, trying to stop this Rift Herald from happening, but it's gonna happen regardless of whether he wants it to or not. There'll be a couple of turret plates in the pocket of Panzora.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of non-minion wave trading here in mid lane. You know, sometimes you don't feel like getting vision, you just want to hit somebody, so... A-Tips and X-Rays Hokage, huge fans of that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that given the two drafts, this has been the quieter of the two games. But
Yeah, oddly enough, maybe they're just not run at your face disposition players.
I mean, Yabi was in the other game, so yeah, that's easy to see.
I feel like I'm unlocking some kind of latent trauma that you have in the game playing with God. Do you need to talk about it, or are we okay?
It was definitely an experience casting him for sure. Some of my most fond casting memories. You have Yabi on one side, and then Tendi's on the other, and it's just mayhem for 40 minutes, and then eventually somebody wins, and it had nothing to do with what happened in the game.
Yeah, that does sound about right, all things considered.
It really was a time. But for now, working together in the same organization, different teams though. But yeah, 5-4, a small gold lead right now for Crowstorm as Girthar's gonna hit that. I just saw him zoom on the map, and I had no idea what happened for a second. He hits the Hex Gate back into the enemy jungle to go ahead and clear out a ward. And now the counter Hex Gate from Gwen, as there'll be two ships passing in the night. But Girthar maybe looking for mid lane. K-Tips hanging around his tower. Not a whole lot happening right now. Any interesting items? Kind of interesting is the first item, Wit's End, for K-Tips.
Yeah, that does feel like a fair response to the two solo lane options, specifically into the RA matchup.
Vbon just sticking this one out. I don't think he's aware
And
that
he's got Mantra W. No, actually he's got Mantra Q, which is
he might actually kill
better.
him. One more auto? He gets the solo kill, but now in come Panzora and Islamic Samurai. They'll be able to finish that one up on the trade, but you can't take that solo kill away from him.
In a 3-man.
Yeah.
Like, you'll take it.
Plus the emotional damage of the solo kill. Speaking of that, just not quite enough damage there from X-Craze is not able to track down K-Tips, but Blazing Cake might. The Flash W, one more auto will finish that one off, and they get the trade back. So kind of a similar thing happening in mid lane. The solo kill followed by the counter kill on the roam. And top lane tower going to be the first one to fall. So VBU on the board in that case, behind about 1,000 gold though in the two dragons. And now Garithar and Benji looking for this mid lane tower in response.
Yeah, and it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
Gwen with Zeri with Triforce does that occasionally.
They were
We're
the
looking
same
at
splash art if you believe Reddit, so, you know.
well, also like season 12 champions that take towers quickly. We're looking in the compendium files here. Gwen popped up first in alphabetical order, so.
Yeah, Panzora stealing away his second straight blue buff, unfortunately from Return of the Middle Six. Vibon, he's got his flash, but really just holding his ground here. Just Ukrainian army out here. Flash charm from X-Craze knocks down English Muffin. Eventually, that was just enough damage. They had that calculation in their heads, and they got it correct, luckily. Oh, X-Craze trying to predict with the charm, not quite able to track down Panzora, and the two solo laners from Return of the Middle Sticks headed successfully toward that top lane tower.
Yeah, kind of a good punish there. Props to Vbon for just standing in the whenever you know somebody has flash and is standing next to a wall, your immediate response is to just kind of let it go. So they're both just kind of frozen there. And then they realized that he was still just gonna be there for them to take damage, and just a bait.
Yeah, good heads up move by X-Craze as well, just to get up and get involved, get that pick. And the solo laner's flourishing right now for Return to the Middle Stick spot lane with the 40 CS advantage. It's a good state right now for ROTM. On the other side though, for VBU, you got two items on Panzora. He's pretty huge. And you have a Vigar who's scaling up relatively nicely as well for Federer, so not a...
Yeah, the problem for VBU at this point they have to solve is the clock, because currently there's 3 dragons stacked up and another one spawning in 3 minutes or so.
Yeah.
By 21 we could be looking at an Hextech Soul.
Yeah, and ROTM grouped up almost as 5 here. They're all within the vicinity as they're going to drop that Herald in mid lane. Panzora, Federer, and Islamic Samurai not responding to this immediately, but now looking for the flank, trying to get English Muffin and K-Tips in. Now starting the fight out with that Hextech Ultimatum. Camille going to be the first one to fall in the fight as a result. Benji trying to kite his way back out. Cake just dives back over the wall as Camille with that E now goes in with the ultimate, trying to finish off Panzora. They do eventually as the kill goes to Benji. Now a big stun though off of Federer, finishes off Vbon. And it's 3 for 1, but they lost 2 towers during that. Sheila just crashed her way on through the inner tower and the inhibitor tower during all of that, and ROTM comes out with a big gold win anyway.
Yeah, it feels like it was like a planned trap and they just didn't account for everyone being there. But honestly, that fight was such an amalgamation of abilities, it's hard to say who really played it well. It kind of feels like Return of the Middle Sticks were just slapping their wallets around.
Yeah, the one thing I did notice, once they killed the Camille, Cake was able to jump into the Camille Soul and was able to dodge out of all of the follow-up CC by using the wall dive. That felt like the big play. Maybe had all the abilities been layered in there, they finish off Blazing Cake, they can maybe look for a turn, but yeah, other than that, it didn't feel a little wallet slappy. X-Craze walking into a little bit of a trap here. Gets the charm onto K-Tips. Teleport coming in from Vbon. A second teleport countered. The Absolver not quite enough damage, but English Muffin now over the wall. Gets the auto, and that should be enough. Oh, is he going to be able to get that? He's got the double Sonyas? Yeah, he had the Zanyas and then the stopwatch. It's just not quite enough as English Muffin follows him over. They do get the trade back, but now Cake on the flank, able to flash out of the solar flare. Big stun, though, from Federer. They just can't really capitalize on it immediately. Garethar with a flay back in onto Panzora. They'll finish that one off. And now diving forward is Gwen, is Blazing Cake. They'll get some autos down onto Islamic Samurai, and eventually should finish off this Leona on the backside. Vibon falls, though, to some just generic damage from Federer. But Cake is in. He's action, and now he's not. He's Viego again, and now he's gonna be Vigar. He's got a double kill, and ROTM is headed for the Baron.
To be Viego in a fight where you get an early reset on the enemy fed champion, chef's kiss, masterpiece. Give me the Gwen. Let me have the Akshan hook shot while jumping towards this helpless Yordle. Fun character, really enjoyable experience, and also one that does this fairly easily with a Zeri to back him up. Three-man Baron, don't know if they have enough time for this. I mean, it feels like VGU
Cake
is
is
pretty
actually
aware, and Cake
very
is
low
like
right
dying.
now. Okay, he's got some fruit, and then you'll be able to get back in, but it's 2,000 health, and now they're spotted by Islamic Samurai. Is the damage coming through? It's not quite there on the solar flare, and it is smited and taken down. X-Craze, though, with the charm on K-Tips
That's a
from the Fog of
hitbox.
War. He's got the ultimate available, so once he gets his charm back up, we should see that dash in. Look for a second charm, maybe. Maybe not. I like his positioning on the wall. Anyway, now going back in, Absolver popped by K-Tips. Does he have enough damage to finish it off? Vbon is here, blocks one shot of it, and K-Tips is just out of there. Vbon looking for more autos on to Islamic. He just doesn't care. This Karma right now.
No,
To be Karma.
this is how you have to play the game if you're gonna play Karma top. You're just like, yeah, if I die, I die, but on the off chance that I don't die, I can be annoyingly alive at all times. You got
Yeah,
Mantra W, you've got Shield, you run at 1,000,000,000 miles an hour.
yeah. Sometimes you contribute 60% of your team's deaths, and that's just fine. It's whatever.
You
Hook from
contribute that many
Garethar.
deaths and you're still, like, particularly useful. When did Benji get 5 kills? Huh?
Oh no, he went blue to the
I
Ruin
was about
King.
to make a point about, like, aside from CS being a really quiet Zeri pick so far, but no, not particularly. Sometimes you're just deathless 8-0 KDA.
Yeah, finished up his Blade of the Ruin King, I think is kind of an interesting second item. Looking for it, Zanya's from X-Craze, and he's got the Dark Passage back out and the Spirit Rush back in. Islamic Samurai is going to be the first victim of the fight, and Cake now has the initiation. They're going to turn on to K-Tips. A lot of damage from Benji. He finishes that one off. He's dominating now, 6-0. Cake is Leona, and now he's not. He's Viego, and now he's just doing some things that are probably illegal on any other champion. But here we are.
Definitely illegal on any other champion, considering that he buffered through the cage stun with ulti and it killed Vigar, and then he was still stunned and got to turn into Vigar while he was doing it. So
Yep, the last
we
ditch
love that
here
character.
from VBU. Panzora trying to get some damage down. He's actually doing relatively well, but he's not immune for long enough. It's a double kill for Benji. They'll finish that one off with a kill for X-Craze. The Bud Light Ace on the steps of the Nexus, and a 22-10 win for Crowstorm in game number 1.
Yeah, that feels like we picked the hypermobility comp that rolls over you if we get 1 kill and then executed on it experience.
All right, well, back to Dark Wind. 1-0 now for Crowstorm. We'll see if they can finish that one out shortly. I have to have somebody added, right? Where's cards?
You might be able to bounce off of my spectate.
Did cards unfriend me? Did I get scammed?
Tragic.
Do I just not know how to read? Let me take a second. Yeah, I just don't know how to read. Or I got... He's gone. Yeah. Sometimes you get unfriended, and you have to live with that. I cannot spectate off of you. I'm going to have to see if I can get an OPGG to work. I'm assuming they're in game.
Yeah, they just unpaused at 49 seconds. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can get it to work then. Spectate. I would like to keep this. I would like to open this. I know that this is a risk to my computer. Thank you. All right. Okay. We're going to be a little behind, but that's okay. Give me a second to fix the scoreboard, and then I'll start talking about things happening. Unless you want to talk about things happening.
I can talk about things happening. We'll start with the fact that the team did go back to the drawing board almost entirely on their champion selection. We've got a bunch of completely different picks, actually on both sides. We're seeing the Ziggs Nautilus bot lane this time out of ice with a Zeri mid. Haman Karn returns on Fiddlesticks, the only returning pick so far in this experience. I'm the Banana doing his best Blitzcrank impression, but on Thresh this time, and then everybody else is just completely different. Pickaxe is on Xin Lost answer to the Zeri mid. Of course, we don't have the draft order, so we don't know if the Syndra was blind or not. Entirely could be.
Yep.
Yeah,
Level 2, though.
these
Hoshiumi
yellow
walking forward.
planes.
The Flame just not quite in time. Yabi trying to get out. The Exhaust doing quite a bit of work. The flash forward for the auto. And the Ignite tick is enough from Hoshiumi to get first blood in the bottom lane. And Card's going to get bonked. They took his Wukong away from him, and now he's Gwendolyn's 29. A little unfortunate.
Feels like did not respect the Nautilus level 2 advantage lane as an experience. They do hold onto their flashes though, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
Man, that's a fun gameplay loop in top.
I'm honestly surprised that Ziggs Nautilus had enough damage at level 2, but I'm always surprised by how much damage Nautilus does at level 2, I guess. So
Yeah, between the ignite and the W autos, you're doing more damage arguably than Ziggs is, to be honest with you. Unless Ziggs passive is up.
yeah, Ziggs doesn't do a whole lot at level 1 or level 2, really until he gets Lost Chapter. So it's just going to be a Hoshi-Yumi show for a little bit. And yeah, this lane doesn't feel particularly fun for cards.
No, it's actually fairly uninteractive. Given that you can't go in and that Wukong can go in on you all the time.
He's doing
That's
all
a
right though.
decent trade.
Yeah, that's a
Never
really good
drop the
trade.
W from Wukong, so you know you actually get to take all of that built up Gwen auto damage.
Did he
Huge
not
fan.
take his W? He did. He just didn't use it. Interesting. He's still got a health pot though, so it looks like trying to hold this just outside of tower range. He's really going for the CS, which is kind of an interesting choice. I feel like you just let that crash into tower and then you can fight cards. Although with Ignite, this is starting to be a dangerous proposition for Coterie. He's got to be pretty careful.
Yeah, and he is gonna go ahead and sack the remaining couple of minions out of that wave and one of the melees from this one to get his health back.
Oh, Pickaxe is picking a fight that I don't think he can win with Haemon Karn here. Hook gonna land, Dark Passage out. I'm glad that hook didn't land from Banana. That might have been a little bit dangerous to go in on because Nizumi had also wandered down from mid lane.
Yeah, that could have been super baity actually. I mean, with pickaxe that low, I doubt they actually take that. Maybe they look for like a trap combo.
But yeah, Cards uses his teleport to get back to top lane as well. He had a very small CS advantage. You can see it just kind of manifests and he gets some boots rather than a refillable, which isn't the hugest advantage, but you know, it exists, I guess. I'm actually kind of shocked by how this lane has gone so far for Cards. This shouldn't be interactive at all for him. Coterie should just beat on him basically anytime he has his abilities up, and instead Cards has to shove in. He's got the CS advantage, and he keeps winning trades.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like maybe we see a return to normalcy once Wukong has like one more item or 6 because their level 6 versus level 6 should favor Wukong.
Yeah, the only advantage you get as Cardinals is when you get your Riftmaker, you get the double healing off of the clone and the body if you can hit them both with like needlework, but like that's not much. Realistically, he should just win. I think that it's just been a little misplayed, but we'll see. Lost, doing a lot of damage to Nizumi. Doesn't have any mana to follow up. Had he had his ult, maybe starting to get close to that range where he threatened Nizumi, but with exhaust on the Zeri, it's kind of a tough ask even to be able to cut through that character.
If you can, oh no, Sag. If you can ult and ignite and immediately like ult ignite auto from that health and then walk back a little bit for the exhaust to not come down on you, maybe you get the kill with Aerie, but it's so close that you kind of want another Q down anyway, and there's no mana for that. There's
I
mana just for the ultimate after the corrupting potion.
Yeah, I kind of wish he had Electrocute just specifically for this matchup, but anyway, I'm not a mid player, so I can't really pass too much judgment on it. Yabi and Banana trying to do anything they can. Hoshimi very low. That auto not quite enough as Heyman Karn coming in, just zoops his way in there, gets a fear, and he's out with that. And there's the ultimate and no exhaust in range for Nizumi, so well played by Lost. Gets just enough mana back to be able to get the solo kill in mid.
Yeah, and I don't. Once again, not exactly sure how the drafts went this time around, but the gameplay button that was banned last time around is available for Lost, and we just saw it used there to its full effect. He's also up about 10 CS. This lane's just going fairly well for him, all things considered.
Yeah, Banana and Pickaxe looking for Heyman Karn. Uses the fear. Oh, we saw. That's actually really clever from him. I don't know if he can see that the red buff just went toward uh, Pickaxe and Banana who are waiting in that bush. He had to have an inkling at least in order to do that. Hook gonna land on the Banana though, and Nizumi is there for the lightning crash kill. And Pickaxe getting exhausted, getting layered in with some of those autos from the Gatling gun, and it will be enough damage. It's a double kill for Nizumi, and now Zeri on the board.
I don't know, man. I don't feel like you ever go for that play without your mid laner available. Like, Nizumi didn't even have to get pressured to walk down on that. Lost is literally in base. It would have looked fine if maybe they could have walked out bot side instead, but then you're walking direct into Hoshiuni's Nautilus, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hoshiumi with the good path through the red side jungle as well, just to make sure to help out his jungle. This is kind of more what we expect. Oh my goodness, no it isn't! The needlework is enough damage from Cardinals for the solo kill. I I didn't
Good
think there was
lord,
any
that
way
should
he
be
won that
illegal.
trade. Yeah, that was...
Yeah. No, I think
He
he
didn't even
actually
use his
dropped to
health
sub
pot.
25 health.
Like, what a monster. Alright. Immediately Coterie buys the Executioner's Calling. Hard to
That
argue with
seems
that
like a
one.
measured response.
Yeah. Yep, fair enough. There, Coterie. Um, I saw someone take the blast cone, and I didn't think to look at the mini map for a second. So I was about to say the pickaxe was ganking, but luckily I didn't say that, so I don't look like an idiot. Except now that I'm mentioning that I'm an idiot. It was Hoshiyumi that took it. Oh, that's cheeky from Banana, able to spot him in the side bush.
Yeah, actually, Pickaxe was in fact taking the Rift Herald,
Yeah,
so
yep.
it's kind of like the Blast Cone, except it has map impact.
Yeah, was even looking to steal away the blue buff immediately after. I like that they picked the Zinzao to put a little bit of pressure onto Hamon Karn. We saw, I think, just too much space for the fiddle. He was able to scale up really nicely and, um, had enough of that, like, dark vision, dark web, fog of war. I don't know what you want to call it. Fog of war would be the technical term, but he had enough of that just to be able to find all of those big crow storms that we saw throughout the mid and late game. But Xin Zhao can maybe put a little bit more pressure onto him, can take away some of those more obvious angles. I've been really impressed by
Yeah,
both of these teams' jungle tracking, actually. Like, aside from just a couple of lapses, it seems like 100% of the time they're both aware of where both junglers are.
yeah, that does seem to be the case, and it also seems like maybe a little bit more respect paid from Return of the Middlesticks to this Fiddlesticks. You can see there's a control ward in the bot lane tri-brush, so no bad dive angles for Return of the Middlesticks' side, and yeah, they seem to be keeping a little bit better track of him, at least early on so far. That being said, he is actually on the Raptors right now, so that kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, Pickaxe is going to go and check out the enemy Raptors. He gets spun on a ward, though, so could be a little bit dangerous for him, although I think they win the 2v2 right now. It's just going to be Hoshiumi, and now, actually, yeah, Pickaxe getting super collapsed on. You can't go for that with your bot lane and base, though.
This does seem to be a recurring trend. They're actually gonna also gift the assist over to Milktra. Ah man, you're not Mundo. You can't go where you please.
It's weird because in theory these invades have been like the right timing, like good ideas, but just because you've been missing it, the first time Lost not on the map, the second time now Yabby and Banana not on the map, means that you can't do that. And instead, Pickaxe has suffered 2 deaths in the enemy jungle trying to get some invades done. But 4-2 right now for Iceborne Legend. They're up 1-0 in this series, looking to close this one out, and have made a good statement so far that they'll be able to. Fiddle in the bush, the 3v3 going to break out the flash flay from Banana, and now in comes everything onto Yabby. Pickaxe coming in, but it's just not going to be enough damage. Milktrot finishes off Banana as well. Pickaxe trying to fight his way on out, gets the knock up and the flash, and this bot lane has been a little bit rough. Pickaxe looking to re-engage. He's trying to get Lost to come in and help. Lost still going to go for it. Finishes off him on Karn. Gets the ult onto Milktra. One more auto, one more Q. That's nicely done. It's a double kill for Lost in rotation.
Yeah, that was really well played, and Nezumi, elected not to follow that down. Um, Not the worst roaming character in the world either, so a little bit questionable there. But Lost is going to salvage what was effectively a complete stomp of the fight in bot lane.
Yeah, I almost feel like these... So the Sivir and Caitlyn picks feel good in theory. I just don't know that they play into the Spotlight's particular strengths with Banana and Yabby. I feel like they've both been... They want to get aggressive rather than scale, I think, and these lanes haven't really allowed them to do that. But
Yeah, maybe you end up a little bit too worried about meta selections when in reality you should just be playing stuff like Tristana, Lucian.
Ult gonna come in. Super Mega Death Rocket not gonna do anything. And against the run of play, Darkwind gonna be able to grab that dragon. So good setup. They are able to capitalize on that double kill in bottom lane. Kind of what sets that up is everybody, kind of slow getting back. Now Hoshiumi going back, the Fiddle resetting to the other side of the map, and at least getting something on the board for your team. And now we get the Chill Oceanic Rift to farm and I don't fight
To
and kill
chill
minions
and farm
too.
minions too.
Chill and farm minions too. Okay.
Yeah. I knew Milktra was actually playing Jinx this whole time, and it was confirmed there.
Oh, Lost. Still able to put on a lot of pressure with this Indra. 3-0. Almost able to chew through his mid lane tower already as well. Is the big focal point, I think, for this team. Would like to see Cards get a little more involved, but he's had some issues of his own. I think that this, regardless of how it's played out, I think Cards has been playing it phenomenally in order to make this an even lane. Even to get ahead is pretty remarkable. But yeah, the Executioners and Hexdrinker now finished up on Coterie means that the end of the fun should be there for Cards as he's continuing on a more normal build path. Pickaxe Once again in the enemy jungle, I'm just going to spot out the lightning dash there from Nizumi to get back over the wall. Now the collapse coming through, Pickaxe has his shield up, and that Crescent Guard is enough to be able to get him out, I think. Nope, never mind, the rehook from Hoshiumi. Dark Passage pulls him out of the Super Mega, or the Mega Inferno Bomb. The Super
There it
Mega
is.
Inferno Bomb Rocket Death, yeah.
We came full circle. That's why I said I knew Milktra was actually playing Jinx.
He just only plays characters with explosions.
I mean, yeah. I do appreciate the lane-focused hyper garage sale build from Coterie up in
Yeah.
top lane. Gwen's just the kind of character where maybe you need to pit stop for 3 different items before you build a mythic. Who knows?
Yeah, if he finishes up the plated steel caps next, it's the full garage sale experience.
I could see it honestly. I mean, you're just now at a point where you're not losing trades actively. At 16 minutes, level 11's up.
I went for the Hearthbound Axe, so headed for Trinity Force? That seems like a weird item.
Hmm. Huh? Stridebreaker maybe.
Oh, maybe. Stridebreaker also feels like a weird item, but
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe you're looking to slow people who are already being knocked up by your ultimate. Sometimes you just do that when you have Fiddlesticks on your team, and you need to keep people in place for Super Mega Death Rocket.
yeah, that sounds reasonable. I feel like you get more out of Gore Drinker
Agreed.
100% of the time, or Sunderer, but not a Sunderer game this game. This would be a Gore Drinker game for sure.
Or he's just doing it big and it's actually Triforce.
It could be Triforce. It could just be Essence Reaver plus. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that one, but yeah.
Yeah, neither do I.
We'll see.
That's the interesting thing about Heartbound Axe is it doesn't really build into a lot.
I also don't understand if it's bound to the Hearth, why it's available for purchase and not in the Hearth.
Maybe it's more of a spiritual thing.
Ah.
Maybe the Hearth was the friends we made along the way.
I'm just gonna leave that one sit there for a second. We'll let that one stew.
You. It only works if you don't do that, though. Now I just sound like a psychopath.
When have I not sounded like a psychopath on this cast? Anyway,
Yeah, okay, fair.
yeah, it's somehow a 600 gold lead for Darkwind, despite gestures vaguely at the map.
Yeah.
There's a dragon up in 1
Yeah.
second. They're gonna drop Herald in mid lane for a little bit of mid priority, and
A bit late. Dragon's kind
in
of.
comes the
happened.
Crowstorm. They're looking to
Oh.
pick the axe. That wasn't clean at all. Cards is teleported, not teleported. He just walked in behind, getting a little bit of damage. I don't know what that needlework. Hook from Banana only lands onto the Wukong clone though. Coterie able to finish off one on the front of the fight. It's 2 kills now for Ice. I can't remember what team we're casting. Jesus Christ.
Legend.
Iceborn
Iceborn.
Legend. Yabi wasn't there. That was just 9 people on the Rift.
No, Yabi decided, hey, bump that.
Oh,
I saw
ace in the hole.
Crowstorm go
Oh.
down.
That hook, or the headshot, not quite enough damage. Banana gonna get caught by the hook from Hoshiumi. He's got nowhere to go. Milktra finishes him off. The dragon gets finished as well. And that's a 10-4, good buddy, in favor of Iceborn now.
Yeah, that feels bad. Yabi saw the opening for the tower
It
and
is a
was like, nah, I'm not
Triforce.
going to join your team comp or team fight. Yeah, he's doing it big. We're double Triforced up on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, and then sometimes you just see the opportunity to kill the enemy jungle, and they have heal and drain, and then you whiff flash pelt over Peacemaker, and then you whiff net, and then you go home.
Yeah. That encapsulates what just happened.
I'm very good at that. It's actually why you have me on.
I true, that is basically the analyst description. There we go.
You say things while they happen. I talk about things that could happen or have.
I I have a thought, and it's not full, and I'm trying to think about it while this is happening. Cards just turns that with the needlework. So much damage. Can he get onto Milktra? He's got the third shot of that needlework. Not able to dodge out of the Mega Inferno Bomb, but the flash auto from Milktra does finish it off. The unleashed power, not quite enough there from Lost. Can he get the last little bit of damage? Doesn't look like he can. Pickaxe gets disengaged by the satchel charge, but still looking in pursuit there. Lost still pressuring in mid. Nezumi hanging around, looking for some of those charges through the wall. But in comes Coterie, has the Cyclone available. Not going to pull the trigger just yet. They're going to get the free pick onto Banana for sure. And Pickaxe looking for the pick onto Milktra, but the satchel charge has come back up and it'll disengage that fight. So, Yabi is here. He gets one auto into the ace in the hole for the shutdown.
Love that. Sometimes you're just Caitlyn on a solo mission through the enemy topside jungle, walking over like 6 different wards, and then you get the drop on somebody who thought you had recalled.
All right, so here's a reference for you. You say things that could have happened or could happen. You're just like 3/5 of Galadriel's pool in Lord of the Rings. Um,
Okay, I like it. That's nah. Okay, I like it. Picasso.
um, yeah, Vibon or Yabi, excuse me, died. He got fucking killed by a scarecrow that isn't a scarecrow. That's a demon that is also a scarecrow.
It's a scarecrow possessed by a demon, I think. Is that actually? I did not read the updated Fiddlesticks lore, so
It's a demon possessed by a scarecrow.
really, that seems backwards as hell.
It'd be more entertaining though. All right. This is only game 3 of our night. I don't. We're not even like hours deep. This is hour 2.
No, I feel like it's getting worse. Like us on cast together just does this.
At least we're not on someone else's build.
I enjoyed it when we were. I used to get paid for this.
uh, you still might if we ever get paid again.
Hey, that's a fair
Th-
point.
Thank you for the support from our loyal viewers, by the way. But I use it to pay myself and then our casters, and then the rest goes to the community. It's not very much money. Don't think that you're gonna get rich by casting with me, because you won't, because we get paid every like 3 months. But you know, for full disclosure, that's what's happening. It's a 200 gold lead now for Iceborne Legend off of that team fight, and somehow our TM just continued to hit the minions very well, and that's kept them in this game. They've delayed the Ocean Soul by virtue of getting that Cloud Dragon earlier, so not on the table right now here in 40 seconds. They can afford to give this one up, and Cards kind of showing that they're willing to do just that as he's down on that bottom side just wailing away on a tower. He's the only person within, what do you think, 4,000, 5,000 units of him? Flash hook from Hoshiumi, though. They're looking for Yabi. They find him. It's Milktra with the killing spree. And again, Yabi just not quite in the right place at the right time. But Gwendolyn's 29 continues his assault on towers down in the bottom lane. Already took that one down to about a quarter health, and he's immune from nothing, unfortunately. Trying to turn this one back around, but Coterie has enough damage to finish him off.
Yeah, we've got the anti-Gwen experience build top lane where sometimes you just go executioners,
Oh, Crowstorm
Triforce
gonna
Maw.
catch Banana. That's not the most important pick that's happened, but it will be one. One more auto. Oh, can't quite find him. Lost. Doing his best to threaten as he can. He gets exhausted, though, mid-ult. They jump in onto Nezumi, but a huge Locket Shield actually comes back through. Pickaxe and Lost finally finish one off, but they sacrifice all 3 of themselves, or all 2 of themselves, because Banana just left. In the process, and now that's a dragon that I don't think had to be fought for, but was fought for in favor of Iceborne Legend.
They might. Yeah, I think they are. I think they're just looking at Baron here. Nothing really to dissuade them either, so we might just be seeing that power play in our future. Gwendolyn's 29 wants nothing to do with it either. He's just leaving. We're gonna
Yeah,
go do the same thing to the actual bot lane.
yeah, he does have his Unleashed teleport if he wants to join. 7,000 health. It looks like Banana and Yabby not even really wanting to walk in. Hoshiumi gonna make sure that Blast Cone doesn't exist. Now Banana's here. Is this the hook steal of Legend? It's not quite there. Alright, well, Baron for Iceborne Legends in the first, even minor lead of the game, I would say. About 3,000 gold. This is kind of what we saw in the last game as well. It was very close for a long amount of time, despite what was a kind of stacked gold count, or kill count, excuse me, in favor of Iceborne, and now starting to get blown a little bit wide open.
Yeah, Return to the Middle Stick's very good at hitting creeps. Return to the Middle Stick's not very good at not dying, as it turns out. So, you know, sometimes you just have that power dynamic where you're 17-7 and you're still within 4,000 gold. Crazy.
Yep. And Coterie has finished up his anti-Gwen experience with the plated steel caps, so now fully online there. Maybe a pick gonna land onto Hoshiumi. Big Mega Inferno Bomb as they're trying to get some damage down. Yabby will be able to flash out to safety, but in comes Coterie. It's a big Cyclone just tearing on through. We'll finish that one off. The Lightning Crash from Nezumi to follow up as well. Pickaxe has to flash out, and again, two more picks just kind of happening because. And Cardinal's left out to dry by the rest of his team, able to dash over the wall, but Haman Karn is there. He's got the slow from the needlework, and he'll be able to escape.
Yeah, and you know, I'm kind of with you on that one. It's these deaths do just seem to be happening, and people seem to be going places with no real reason to be there.
Like, I understand coming toward bottom lane to defend the inevitable push that's happening from Iceborne.
Yeah,
but,
that feels about right.
But the way that you're rotating there means that three of you die. Like, that there isn't another option there. Because you're behind a little, but because of the way these team fights have played out, I think you're further behind. Like, Cards isn't super great in a team fight. You don't have that big front to back oomph the way that Iceborne does with the Nautilus and Wukong able to engage. You have good backline damage from Nezumi and Milktra. You have Fiddlesticks that is a character. Like, it's a very clear looking team fight. You can envision what that looks like from Iceborne. It's hard to envision what a good team fight looks like for Return of the Middle Sticks. They have a lot of pick tools, they have a lot of skirmish tools, but they just don't have that big 5v5 team fight tool.
Yeah, and also this has been like a common thread of the debate between these two characters for a long time. Nautilus is just easier to start things on. Like, he doesn't have the same versatility, there's no lantern, you can't do as many fun things with Flay, but you press a button, somebody's fucking dead. Just kinda how it goes. Like, you can do the same thing if you land the death sentence, but it doesn't have the same missile speed as the hook. It doesn't do what depth charge does. And, you know, in a similar way, you know, you've got very obvious long-range follow-up in the form of Mega Inferno Bomb and Crowstorm. It just seems like if Return Middle Sticks wanted to play this out the way they would prefer, they would actually just be spreading the map apart and not giving any option for these type of tools to be used.
Well, now they're forced to fight with 30 seconds here. An Ocean Soul essentially game ending for Iceborne Legends, so gotta find the big fight now. And you've got 2.5 items on Yabby. You got 2 on pretty much everyone. The 3 on Cards is going to be your, well, 3 on Cards and Lost have to be the stars of the show. You really need to see that Syndra and Gwen damage count for a lot during these fights. And this is how it starts. Oh, the Zanyas is there. Can they secure the pick? They do. They take down the enemy jungler before it happens. But Coterie in, just tearing through Banana and the Locket Shield, trying to keep him alive, but it's just not enough. Now Coterie is godlike onto Yabby, trying to finish him off. He gets some autos though, and Cards just stands his ground in the circle. Hoshiumi comes around, assassinates Yabyinda on the Nautilus. Do they have the re-engage? It's Ziggs and Zeri and Nautilus trying to fight this one out. Cards is slowed by the Ocean Dragon, now forced to use the stopwatch. They're looking for the turn. Pickaxe looking for the knockup. Trying to get onto Hoshiumi. Trying to get onto Milktra. Milktra finishes off Pickaxe. Lost. Stuck on top of the minefield. Nezumi collapsing from the top. He gets the autos through. And the splash damage from the Titanic Hydra and the Runeterra's Hurricane picks up the ace for Iceborne Legends.
The tail end of that fight was played out really well. Nezumi just lurking inside the enemy jungle, waiting for the inevitable commitment, it feels like, from Return of the Middle Sticks, because your jungler's super low, he's already used Crescent Guard, you gotta do something. And do something they did, almost got through the health bar of Milktra, but that Zanya's Hourglass, it's a pretty good item.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to a pause screen. It's already readied up, so there we go. Cool. But yeah, big fight win now. The Ocean Soul exists for Iceborne Legends. There's our spectator pause. In terms of healing reduction, we have Gwen has an Oblivion Orb, so probably need a little bit more there for Return of the Middle Sticks to try to combat this Ocean Soul now. Banana trying to walk in and get vision, gets spotted, and his ward gets immediately taken out. Very sad.
Pain.
That's just not a contestable ward. That's rough.
Mm-mm. And unfortunately, in this game state, it's never going to be a contestable ward. Actually, I would argue that in a lot of ways, vision isn't really contestable at this point in the game, unless it's defensive, or you're committing like everyone to it, and then your wave states get super messed up. So.
Yep. 7,000 health on this Baron. Pickaxe is trying to swiggity swooty on through this Tribush. Can he get in range for the steal? He's in! He just didn't get it. The smite is good from Haman Karn. They'll eventually be able to finish him off. That was about as good as you can get though from Pickaxe.
No, it really is. I mean, that was wildly close. I saw double-digit health on a target that normally is 4, or 5.
Well, Card's able to get another tower down in the bottom lane. It does give them an extra... I actually have no idea how to read that gold bounty. Extra 300 split among the team, or 480? Is 300 an inhibitor and 480s a tower?
I think so. That seems like it's fairly accurate.
Does it just pick a random number between 300 and 480 and that's what you get? You have to high roll your turret bounty?
No, okay, so it's outer turrets are 300, inner turrets are 480?
It's 300 for the person that kills it and 480 split among the rest of the team?
Who can say?
There are 2 numbers up there, and they got one of those, so...
Oh, the misery.
I am in misery. You're in Kansas, though, so...
Not true.
Anyway, Siege for Iceborne Legends. V-Bon... Oh, that wasn't the hook onto V-Bon, it was onto Lost. And the fight gonna start here. Lightning Crash coming in from Nezumi. He does fall to Lost, but that's just a trade. Card's trying to sweep in. Finishes off one. Can he turn this one all the way around? This character is good at that. Now into the stopwatch, and that's going to just spell his doom. It's a triple kill for Coterie on the Wukong. Eventually started to pop off, just needed his garage sale completed. And that'll be the series 2-0 in favor of Iceborne Legends. They were really close games until they weren't, is basically what we'll say. The team comps just kind of came to bear, I think, in both games for Iceborne Legends.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that sentiment. You've got a relatively difficult matchup, and I think you also, in both games, drafted a harder to execute comp for the side of Return to Middlesticks, so it is a little bit of a tough ask to make that happen when you're down in kills and running the farm game, but not really be able to make anything happen on the map.
All right, I have to log back into my client now. I hate it here. But we'll jump into game 2 of Crowstorm. Get a second. I don't know why I just have the thing that says series start. Oh well. Whatever. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, and immediately get in and just watch somebody fucking die. Alright. That's what we like to see.
Huge fan.
Let me flip this over. I'll fix everything now. You can cast whenever I need to fix the scoreboard.
Gotcha. Another
I'm not
bunch
caught
of,
up. I guess I should do that first. Okay.
Another bunch of real-life picks in my video game today. We're looking at another new side of things. The famous Garithar Heimerdinger support just doing its thing out here. Another Gwyn jungle, in which case Flying Squirtle is back on it. Actually, no, Panzora's playing top lane this time, and Flying Squirtle is now in to play.
Yeah, that was the
Gwyn
interesting
jungle?
thing I saw when we loaded in.
I see.
Oh, that looks terrible. Why is VBUM just such a long acronym? There we go. Okay. I'm still just zooming. Cake is dead. There's a lot of abilities happening, and in 2x speed it's really hard to cast. It's a double kill for Garithar, and that's the last thing that we're gonna see. Yeah, Panzora's just playing Tryndamere. He was the jungle Gwen in last game, and now he's playing
in
Tryndamere.
every sense of the word, because while that 4-for-1 happens in the topside jungle, he's just down in bot lane taking towers. The Tryndamere gameplay loop, but it's unhealthy. Changed my mind.
I voted for Tryndamere in the rework thing in hopes that they would change it, because they can't possibly make it worse, you know. And
Actually, I
be a
think my
healthy
problem
kid.
is not with Tryndamere. It's actually with like the current Hullbreaker concept builds where 3 or 4 different champions in the game just refuse to interact with League of Legends and instead play PvE base building or base destruction simulator. And those are like Yorick, Tryndamere, and Sion.
I don't mind that as a concept. I really hate Tryndamere. I cannot stand laning against characters. There's something where the simplicity is what pisses me off the most. My 2 least favorite, I'll go on the record. I've gone on the record before. My 2 least favorite champions in the game are Tryndamere and Nasus. Nasus because his stupid passive, that is, 3 words long, Nasus get lifesteal, is the most annoying thing that could possibly exist. Anyway, Cake is caught. He's exhausted. He is just dancing around. Now hits the ultimate. In comes Garithar, gets the zap from Benji. Big Seraphine ult, but it's just not enough. The lightning crash coming back through. They'll cut down the Vigar in his prime, but now Blazing Cake trying to kite back away. He's got a bomb on him, but in comes the Tryndamere. He's team fighting now. Look, that character can do everything. X-Craze is also immune from dying, and he'll dive back out. Oh, he didn't hit the Raptor, but it doesn't matter. He's turning it back around onto Flying Squirrel. They finish off Garithar. Flying Squirrel very low. V-Bon over, gets the taunt, gets the kill onto the Seraphine. Vrang able to use his ult on himself as they're trying to just get away. Panzora very low. Benji chasing him down, looking for some autos. He'll just recall in the Wolf Pit. Well, he can heal up on that. That's pretty dangerous. Benji at least seems aware of that. Now the spin over the wall. Yeah, look at how interactive this character is. Wow, he's so well designed.
Uh, this is a can of worms I might be sorry I ended up opening.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, no, essentially he's back. Here he is.
Here he is. His ult's probably already back up because it doesn't have a cooldown. It's not actually back up. I'm
It's
just
not.
salty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get the kill. RTM up 1,500 gold. This is going to be their third dragon. Unless it gets stolen here. This is quite a team comp that VBUM have put together. They have a Zillion and a Tryndamere, so nobody dies. They have a Seraphine, so nobody dies. But who does the damage? Oh, it's Gwen and Vigar. It's not like a front-to-back team comp, but nobody dies in it, so that's nice. And more picks. They killed the Xylene and they killed the Vigar. So nicely
Which
done
is
by
interesting
Crowstorm.
because we have on record an account of people dying in this team comp where no one dies. So maybe it's an execution thing. Maybe Xylene shouldn't have been there. Who knows?
Who knows? Zanya's Hourglass, though, finished up for both Gwen and for Silas, means that more people just going to inevitably not die. Baron might die, though. It's at 3,000 health. Gareth are trying to zone as best as he can with his upgrade. X-Craze with the big Seraphine ult back, the counter Seraphine ult. Now everybody's sitting in stasis. In comes Tryndamere. The Baron does fall eventually. Now he's immune to death. He's so angry, man, literally too angry to die. Now he finally can. It's a double kill for X-Craze Hokage, and my casting has just gotten so salty that I can see nothing else but Tryndamere. I'm very sorry.
No, I'm here for it, to be honest with you. Also, based on the way this is going and how I can assume it has gone so far, VGU's comp like works on paper, and if they were maybe a little bit more patient with it, they could be executing it really well. Because like this is basically the same thing that we saw out of the Vigar bot last game. It's essentially just bridge your way into a scenario where the tools you've picked up around Vigar just win you the game because it's Vigar and he's one of the 3 infinite scaling champions in the game. So there's that. But beyond that, you know, they kind of just are getting out macroed and out rotated a little bit by a slightly faster, slightly earlier game team.
Yep. Plus, Vbon has one of his 2 champions, so he's probably pretty happy.
And they had 3 champions.
What's the third one?
I mean, I thought it was the Karma, right?
I guess so. That's fair.
He likes playing the Karma. Karma good. I don't think he ever gets the one character, right?
Yeah.
Like Vbon Ornn's illegal in multiple countries.
Yeah, occasionally he gets the Shen, though, and then they remember that he also can't play Shen, so... And then you're using 2 bans on a tank top laner, which is just inexperience, but...
Yeah, no. I mean, until you play against it, that sounds like just a draft mistake, right? It's not.
Yeah, he is 5-3 and 9 on the Shen in a losing matchup into Tryndamere, so... We didn't see how it all played out, but it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, some of it can be inferred. Unfortunately, Tryndamere well on his way to what I assume is going to be Gale Force on top of all of these other things that he's built that make him hit things harder and angrierly.
Yeah, why wouldn't he need an extra dash in this kit? Anyway, Vbon here. This is... well, gonna trade places with the Gwen. Oh, didn't quite get the flash over the wall. He's actually dead. A little unlucky. Gameplay. There's nothing to announce about Tryndamere. Like, there's no big ability tell. There's no hype moment. He just kind of killed him, you know? Cake is here. He's trapped inside a baby cage. Still has his ult, though. He can continue to burn it on in here if he wants to, but that's a lot of crowd control.
He's having so much fun right now. That was so interactive.
Yeah, his team got the tower in the meantime, though, so he can't be I mean, he's probably still a little upset about that, but like,
Okay, what I want is that clip of him dodging everything in top river, and then it's immediately followed by that clip, and you just caption it the duality of man.
Tryndamere killed a tower, by the way, so yay.
Shocked.
That pick is worthwhile.
You see, wings on it. He's with me. just delete Holbreak. Item is a problem.
Hullbreaker was a mistake. You can build it, but only when you're 10,000 gold behind. I like the look, but I don't think he wins this one. He's got the Xylene, or the Shen ult on top of it. There's some autos happening. Somebody is in GA. I honestly have no idea what's happening in this fight. That was a big stun, though. It looks like VBU is doing all right, but Garithar just zergs down the enemy support. X-Craze is somehow still alive. They're starting to turn it. Benji is, I guess, untouched on the back. Now dashing on through, getting autos through. Vrang low. The pillar is good. Federer gets chopped down. It's a double kill for Blazing Cake, the champion in all of that somehow is still alive. Benji is over, gets smited by Flying Squirrel. Now Gwen is immune, unfortunately, and there's just things happening. There's two people on each side left on the map. It's a support and a jungler versus a jungler and a mid laner, who is also a support. And
So
that wasn't a soul for ROTM, very importantly.
yeah, and one of the super fun interactions that VBU's drafted themselves up into here is the fact that you can Tryndamere ult while Chrono Shift is on you, and if Tryndamere ult runs out while Chrono Shift is still there, you get even more not die for your not die comp. I heard you like not dying, so we put not die into your not die so you can not die.
I like that X-Craze just saw that and was like, I'm going to play Silas so I can also not die with your not die comp.
Yeah, that seems like a fair
Yeah,
that seems like a fair and measured response.
Yeah, we saw the fight before. He had the Tryndamere ult. This time he took the Zillion ult, which was why I was so confused. There were just like 3 people rezzing and 2 in a Zanyas at one time.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Federer taking a lot of damage in response. Flying Squirrel trying to get on him. He's got the Shen ult dodge out from Benji. This is actually really nice kiting from Benji. Just gets hit by the last of the needlework, though. Trying to zap back over the wall. Vbon going to sacrifice himself for his team. And this is still a tough spot for ROTM. Yeah, this looks like Baron for VBU. I don't know if that's like their university. Their logo is just a monster, so it's not like a collegiate logo. I have no insight onto this team, but oh, it's not even Flying Squirrel. It's Flying Squirrel. It's a Q.
It's Squirtle, the Pokemon.
Squirtle. Yeah. I couldn't read twice.
I didn't even notice the Q. I just noticed that it's actually not, in fact, the animal that we have in our own universe.
I knew it was Squirtle, and for some reason I've been saying Squirrel the whole time. Like
oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I will own up to when I mistake stuff, but like I somehow knew it was Squirtle, but I've just been saying Squirrel.
Well, in any case, Flying Squirtle is 4 items deep, 11, 6, and 4 on this Gwen. Within 5 of the top leaders at CS in the lobby.
That's illegal. What the fuck? All right. Garithar.
Sometimes Garithar just be Garitharing on his Heimerdinger support, and he just burns Chrono Shift by existing.
It's already back up, but like that was a good attempt.
Yeah, I mean, if it's one of, let's see. No, it doesn't. No, not for that one. That one has Zanya's. That works against one of the enemy team members in the game. Without, them, it never doesn't expend some resources. But that actually kills at least one person. That combo, in particular.
Yeah.
So, you know. If you're ever curious about the extent of the team comp that VPU has drafted for themselves, they don't really interact a whole lot with the whole death mechanic or gray screens. They prefer all of their pictures in color.
Yeah.
I'm out of things to fill the seconds with.
I am too. This has just been kind of a slow build up, and now VBU finally going to take down a tower with their Baron buff that they've acquired.
Ooh, yeah, that's another, like, that's actually arguably my least favorite part of Zillion. Obviously, the chrono shift is a thing, double bomb is annoying, but when I see people running at 56 miles per hour, who should be running at about, 20, I get upset. And then it's never on cooldown after he's, like, level 13 either, so someone is permanently ghosted, pretty much.
Yeah. Ooh, a lot of damage. Gonna pop the shield bow on Benji. Our team just don't have a great way to start the fight, like without just doing this, which they're doing. X-Craze with the Seraphine ult and the Shen ult delivered into the backline. He's got the stopwatch just to try to buy some time. But Panzora is killing everyone on the backline. And now Cake and Gareth are in trouble. The Chomp coming through. Now Squirtle is both immune and undying. He'll be able to dash on out of there, and they just can't finish off any of these kills right on the doorstep of their base. RTM was ahead and now starting to have a little bit of trouble finishing off some kills. I don't know what actually killed Flying Squirtle there, but
like,
he dies
like
to Garethar.
6 different kinds of burn is effectively the answer.
Garthar's looking for this
have.
one. He is not scared. Looking for Federer, finishes him off. It's 2 kills
Easy
for
trade.
him. The shutdown for him. Cake is going to try to finish off Panzora, but now the Zillion ult is just back up again. That's the... What is the cooldown? Let's look at it. 32.23 seconds. All right. Well.
Okay, so I'll similarly go on record. I will see your on record and I will raise you an on record. My 2 least favorite characters in the game are Zillion and Morgana because they are both outdated as hell and don't have a place. None of their abilities that people actually complain about have a place in League of Legends anymore. Black Shield and Chrono Shift were designed for a different video game, one that came out 11 years ago, and both need to be fucking deleted.
Yeah. I can buy that. I just feel like they need to increase their VGU schedule by a lot.
Yeah, stop releasing new champions. Start releasing updates to champions that everyone agrees are unhealthy, or almost everybody. You know, there's the occasional 7.6 million mastery Zillion who's going to argue that Chrono Shift is completely fine and you just play around it. But, you know, playing around I create the opportunity for this character to not die every 30 seconds is not really a thing, in my opinion. You can't really make that argument.
Also, his splash arts are just whack as hell, but, you know.
Yeah, I big agree.
Especially Method and Groovy Zillion. That is one scary splash art. This game has gotten very boring because the team with all of the uninteractive buttons has started winning.
Well, it's not just that. I think it's more for me specifically from an analysis side of things. Is like I've already identified what does and doesn't happen in the team fight, but also the team that has the least interactive options are also the ones playing the most passive. Like we're currently waiting for them to set up for an objective that just spawned. They actually waited out the time between both Barons.
Oh well, big Seraphine ult, and that actually they're gonna pop the Chrono Shift onto Seraphine, and it's probably not going to cost them. Gareth are going to fall to some needlework. In comes X-Craze. He's got the Tryndamere ult available if he needs it. Now has to pop it. Is undying currently, but will die here in just a second. They get the Shen taunt back through, but there's just not enough damage coming back through. Benji and Cake trying to kite back away. They do finish off that one. Now the Lightning Crash available for Benji. And Federer, Islamic Samurai, and Vrang still very much alive. The collapse coming from Flying Squirtle as well. And VBU looking to try to finish off this game right here and now.
So, which one of them do you actually ban? Like, it feels like you keep the Tryndamere ban for sure, but do you feel like you also need to ban the Zillion, or is one of them enough? Or maybe you're banning Gwen. This seems like it's super interactive as well.
Yeah, that's the second game in a row where Gwen has been the one big issue. In the first game, it didn't matter, but this one, that matters just a bit. But Nexus is gonna fall, and we're tied at 1. We're going to an ace match here between Crowstorm and VBU. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with, I assume, a draft. I don't know if I have a draft link, but we'll see if we can jump in on that. So we'll be right back. Series tied at 1. Yay, more League of Legends. Yay, keeping me up late. Let's go.
You have a redeem.
I have what?
You have a redeem.
I have a redeem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sick. Okay. We'll get that one eventually. Join quick.
Ah! I had to sit back down.
Oh god, there might not be room. Oh, you made it. Sick. Okay.
Zoom in.
Can Maris and Oath do every other word?
Uh, probably? Will we? I don't know.
We can, but I don't think it's going to be very good.
Neither do I. Oh, we don't have draft links. That's painful.
I'll message.
Here we go.
Oh, their logo's so small. It's kind of cute though.
If I didn't know for a fact that Discord has like a mild delay, I feel like it would go a lot better. Like if we were both just in a studio on mic, we
Yeah.
could probably kill it. I'm still down.
Yeah,
When
I
we
mean,
get to that point.
we can try it. I was
We're
gonna do
drafting
it on the,
currently.
I was gonna do it on the transition, but
I think that's good. That feels fair.
Yeah.
The Tryndamere ban does come through. Big ups to that.
yeah, immediately pleased with the response.
We like that. X-Rays does not get to play Ari. There will also be no edgy sword boy prevails. We're actually banning Karma away from. So we're at the tier list part now where Karma's annoying enough that you're willing to leave up like Orange Shen for V-Bond just so you don't have to play against the Karma. I love it.
This has to be the
But
Orin, right?
you would think, right? But also like Benji's Zeri is up still. Maybe you're not worried about that.
Yeah.
We will finally see something new out of the bot lane because Vygar just hit the table, so Zillion's still up, but we will not have the Cage Yordle for infinite scaling. Chill cages to vibe and scale infinitely too.
Ooh.
Oh, they're gonna ban away the Gwen, so worried about the first pick B1 Gwen experience. That seems.
I don't think you can
that-
B1 Gwen.
I do.
So, I think you can. I don't think that Crowstorm can.
No, I don't think Crowstorm can at all. I agree with that. I think
'Cause-
this is a meta draft read from VBU and not a scouted draft read from VBU.
Because Gwen has to be cake. It's not a V-Bond champion.
Yeah. And you don't really like blinding Gwen jungle specifically because it just has way worse matchups than it does as a top lane character. Hey, I've never seen that character before. So we're gonna see an actual like ADC out of Federer here, and it's notably the worst ADC in the game.
Star of the
Jinx.
hit show Arcane.
Incredibly weak. Oh no. Is that the show that put Contemplate Lizards on the map with their song Enemy?
Contemplate lizards. Alright.
I was sad. I pulled that out in the transition, but you were eating breadsticks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was there was like a good 3 minutes of complete and total silence, and then I said I was shuffling League of Legends music on Spotify to stay in the zone, and Enemy by Contemplate Lizards just came on. Super hype song.
Sound of the summer.
Yeah. Now we've got Zillion again. But on different. Yeah, this seems. I was gonna say, like, if you're locking the Zillion here, your B3 here is Ornn, almost assuredly, unless you value Shen higher. But I think it's just Ornn. Yeah.
Yeah. So V-Bond gets to play Ornn.
Pack it up. Close down the stream.
I don't know that it's that good, but we'll see.
No, probably not. And also I would like if we get the V-Bond Ornn, definitely we would want it on the stream and get to cast it. So that seems pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a champion. I don't know if that's theoretically pretty good into Ornn, is the Vladimir.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, much like how he is in LOR, I don't think Vladimir actually is a champion in this season very much. But we'll have to see.
No Scar Grounds to help buff him here. Yeah, Zeri, not going to be available for Benji. The Lulu gone. I don't know about banning Lulu, but I mean, Lulu Jinx is alright, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's fine. I think like Lulu ulting Trundle is super annoying.
Oh, and the Samira from Benji. Those are the two characters I think that he's been spamming the most, so understandable. Have a nice day. Kind of interesting. I wonder where we're at on the X-Craze tier list. If this is a Syndra or Corki, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Anyway, the Leona seems more reasonable. I would think that that would be kind of where you're looking to ban away from the Zillion, but anyway, here we are. VBU needs a support and a solo laner, so this is almost assuredly the support.
Yeah,
Unless it's the
definitely
Trundle
should be.
support.
And
Alright, never mind.
nope. It's
Victor,
just
star of the hit show Arcane, is in our game.
you- oh no. Can we get any more arcane characters in my game? Like, where do we fit them now?
Heimerdinger's support is still available.
How true. And also super playable, given that Gothar has already played it.
So is Caitlyn. Twitch notably not in the hit show Arcane. Neither is Janna. This is quite a comp if they're going to pick that one. That'd be the Xylene mid. Oh, are we getting cat on a rat?
I love that.
The cat on a rat experience? Goat on a rat?
That's notably more boring, but is
I
it just
don't have a clever thing for this on a rat. Damn. Alright. Well, Thresh. I worry a little bit about their wave clear, but yeah.
yeah, a bit.
But yeah, all of your damage is basically Graves and Twitch, which means that if this is a big tank, and it kind of is,
Oh, nice. We've got Galio, star of the hit show Arcane.
Galio's star of that hit Cinematic and New Dawn.
He's also in Warriors, right?
Yeah, and the 2021 or 2020 Worlds performance. All right. Well, we'll get started here on the client. Oh, their logo is really tiny. Hold on, let me fix that, and then I'll transition to client. Okay.
Was that the start?
That wasn't a very
you're
clear
fired.
transition.
You gotta give me any warning, bro. Everyone,
Listen
up.
Return
Of
the
middle sticks
is
gonna
hop
off
their
host
walk
out
of
the
corn
field.
and
Oh,
it just like broke up on
your
asses.
y'all
Ever
experienced deep
suck
well
your
about
to
get
the
slurp
of
a
lifetime
from
the
Rodham.
squad?
I
know
what
I'm
talking
about.
to.
Sits.
My
Name
is
liposuction lane.
then
After
we
have
drained
all
of
your
life,
juice,
our
crow storm
will
come
down.
and
Eat
your
lifeless
carcasses.
caw
Caw!
caw.
Hashtag RTM fighting.
I feel like that was worth way more than 1,300 points. But yeah, we're done there, and we're not even through the client draft. Nice.
Was Renata not available this week?
I don't know.
I'm going to assume it's still not available.
Probably not for that league now.
Otherwise, Garethar would have picked it.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Do they have just a banned champions? I thought they did. There it is, disabled champions. Oh, she'll be in the Pits of Zon until week 5. Okay, yeah, next week she's available.
Neat.
You
Big
also
money.
can't pick Senna and Tom Kench together. Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's also true.
That's definitely an interaction that exists for some reason.
Uh-huh, for sure.
All right. Well, let's look at these team comps. We have on one side we have a rat and a man with Schrodinger's cigar, and a bunch of people to buff them. And then on the other side we have the stars of the hit show Arcane. So, what do you feel like is the big strength of each comp? We'll start there.
Sure. So, ironically enough, the comp that's best at not dying has been kind of like that moniker has kind of been taken over by Return to the Middlesticks. It's not just the Zillion, like Ornn doesn't really die, Graves has his bullshit passive, Twitch is literally invisible, and they have a lantern. Ironically enough, it also kind of feels like they are a little bit lacking in overall damage, whereas VBU definitely isn't at all. They've got Victor and Jinx, stars of the hit show Arcane, to rack up a bunch more wave clear than Return of the Middlesticks can put out. Kind of nuke those, and then yeah, they've got a fair amount of disengage themselves actually. Between Pillar, which notably fantastic into Ornn, Galio ulti, Vladimir Pool, Gravity Well.
Yeah, it feels like a tough ask from Crowstorm to get in, but we could just see the Twitch and Graves snowball out of control, and then it's not an issue, I guess. You have the ornaments coming in, so you've got, the extra late game scaling. You got no magic damage though, and Trundle and Galio can just build some armor, and that
Which
feels like it makes it, or I don't know what I said. Yeah. That feels like an issue.
Zillion, he can get some magic damage out there, especially like being mid. He can at least put up damage against the two squishies, which you would expect him to be able to. But yeah, not a character that does any significant magic damage or burn into hyper tanks. This also, the meme aside, doesn't really feel like it's an AP Twitch game from Benji either. So. Maybe it could be. You did draft a pseudo 80 carry marksman jungle, so
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like you can't. It's just unlikely.
yeah, I don't think that this is where you need it, because you have no way to chunk through Trundle and Galio then. But yeah, I still, if I saw it, I wouldn't be like, man, that's just troll. It has its place, I guess. Anyway, 16 seconds until we get to the Rift for our last game of the night. Thanks all for joining us. Schedule will be back tomorrow with the Masters team. They're playing OMT Chaos with a K. I don't know what the significance of the K in Chaos means. Let me look that up. I guess that's just the original spelling. Oh, so it's K if you're Greek, and it's C if you're not, if you're Roman. Neat. The big learning happening here. The educational Return to the Middle Stick stream.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's even got Twitch Shadowfoot. That one of the greatest things that Riot ever did was add the voice filter to Twitch Shadowfoot.
Yeah, I agree. I know a fair number of people who hate it, but I think it's great.
All right. Well, we successfully loaded to Summoner's Rift for the first time today, so we're really in it.
Going so well.
All right. On the blue side of the Rift is Return of the Middle Sticks Crowstorm. Red side of the Rift is VBU Monster Mash. It was a graveyard graph. Smash. That's monster math. I'm too tired. Alright, well. It was a graveyard smash.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I'm not going to be any help here. I'm sorry. I don't.
You don't know the monster mash? Alright, well.
You know,
Can't be
oddly
helped.
enough, we actually like we don't know what the Monster Mash is. We just know that they did it. That song isn't the Monster Mash. It's about the Monster Mash.
It's just like tribute from
Yeah.
Yeah. But we do know they did the monster math, and we can show that one with our graveyard graph.
I hate it here.
And yet you keep coming back each week.
How true. That's kind of rude. Man was just trying to jig it up in mid. Vibing.
Yeah, he still won the trade and he got the first strike proc, so.
How true. Varang. Didn't make a particular note of that in the last game, but
Yeah, he was
not the world's easiest diphthong to go through in a mid team fight. So
Yeah, I'm assuming that it's Indian based. There's a lot of VRs in Hindi culture. Anyway, I shouldn't assume things though. I tend to get those wrong. Alright, well, level 1, we're trading it up in bot lane. You would think that the Twitch Thresh lane would be a little stronger at level 1, but they're getting shoved in right now by Federer and Islamic Samurai. Both junglers started bottom side, headed up to the top side. Graves has skipped his Krug camp though, so he's going to be a little bit faster toward that. I feel like my frame rate is stuttering just a little bit, and I don't really know why. Level 2's in the bottom lane though for Federer and Islamic Samurai. I'm going to try... We're going to tab out and then tab back in. Okay, gank from Flying Squirrel. Going to get the flash out of X-Rays Okage, and everything's a little smoother, so... good and bad things happening. Panzora going to go for the invade though, because they got the flash out of the mid laner. This is apparently legal for him to do. Cake able to get it, just trying to get some damage down onto Panzora. A little heal though from the transfusion is enough. Garithar very low in the bottom lane. X-Craze hits the bomb down onto the Vladimir, taking him pretty low. Has the exhaust. Can Panzora find a way out? Will the autos start to tick up? The slow from X-Craze. The autos for first blood for X-Craze Hokage.
wow. What a set of events to happen at level 2 here for top side of the map.
Yeah, bottom side, we have no summoners on Garithar and no flash on Islamic Samurai, so have to keep an eye on that one. Level 3's hit for both sides as Cake and his arch enemy, the Ward.
I can't really say that they were like fighting in any respect. The ward was just kind of doing what the ward does as an inanimate object and existing. It can't actually fire back or anything, but it is going to burn Cake's time. Which...
Yeah, it does have 3 health, and he's only got 2 shots in his shotgun, so that's a little unfortunate. Gank coming down onto Panzora, and Cake should be able to finish this one off, although V-Bond pretty low, and Panzora just goes closer to Cake to donate that to him, I guess. So, 0-2 on the Vladimir early on is maybe not the start that he was hoping for, especially after what looked like a pretty okay invade to start it off.
Yeah, the rotation really nice from Return to the Metal Sticks to make sure that that didn't end up being a problem. And then, you know, sometimes you just don't have any summoner spells left and Graves comes back to your lane.
Yeah, Benji and Gareth are going to freeze this. That's really nice freeze that they've been able to set up there. We'll see if they can keep it here, but Federer and Islamic Samurai are going to go ahead and grab. I don't know if you'd even term this a cheater recall, but I guess kind of. It's cheater if it's intentional, right? But since it wasn't, I don't know that it counts, but he's still... anyway, here's the strength of that longsword start. Federer has a completed Noon Quiver on 31 CS, so that's really nice. Virtue Gaming rated us. That's really cool. Thank you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. we're
Yeah,
sitting
hope your
here,
stream went well.
sitting here at 1-1 into the third game between VBU Monster Mash and Rodham Crowstorm. And a 2-0 lead early on for Crowstorm as Cake and X-Craze both with a good start. Panzora getting a little too cheeky in the enemy jungle. He's got a CS lead though on Vmon, as you would kind of expect in the ranged into melee matchup, but a little quiet here for the last couple of minutes. Blazing Cake has been able to secure all of the crabs this game, and he'll get his third one there on top of a ward. We'll see where we go from here. Good trade by Vmon.
Yeah, fun little trading experience. It's the character does a lot of things.
Yeah, Garethar gonna get a ward. He finds Flying Squirtle there, which probably not exactly who he wanted to find. And now he's getting collapsed on. So Garethar, can he get out of the taunt range? Not quite. Shield of Duran is enough to pick him off. The little shield isn't going to do very much, and Garethar going to fall to Federer for the first kill for VBU. And Panzora takes a little chunk. He has to use his pool back out. This is not the most interactive lane in mid lane. But there was some damage that happened, so spectator camera thought that we needed to see it.
Yeah, realistically, nothing should actually happen in this lane.
Yep, pick on the support into a dragon. That's a tale as old as, well, it's not actually that old, but it
Not
happens.
particularly. Meta dictates that started happening a couple of seasons ago, probably 8 or 7 or so.
Yeah, kind of interesting is that it's 2 recalls now for Federer and Islamic Samurai now. So Noon Quiver Pickaxe and Twitch has yet to recall, so still sitting on the Lonely Doran's Blade while the wave has been kind of curated and manicured by them. Now finally going to get that back. I'm curious what build he's going to go for. Yeah, we're not going to get a whole lot of direction there. Noon Quiver and Boots.
It feels like the natural progression would be Kraken Slayer in some form. You've got Trundle to get through, you've got a Galio, but those aren't like hyper frontliney champions. It feels like you could also get away with Gale Force if you value the extra.
Yeah, Flying Squirtle here in the top lane. Vmon can break the pillar, but now in a little bit of trouble. Has some damage through, but he's just having his resistance is reduced. There's nowhere for him to go. Probably didn't even really need to expend that flash, but Panzora picks up the kill, and now on the 1 and 2 score line. So some nice moves by Flying Squirtle, getting his team back even in the kill count at 2-2. And Cake just continuing to farm and try to scale up, but ahead 20 CS and the kill, so not unhappy with the way things have gone so far.
No, this seems well within the margins is a good term for it, I think.
Alright, Benji stealthing in, getting the slowdown. They're looking for Islamic Samurai, but he's got the Aftershock proc, and Cake can't really get in. Yeah, kind of a hopeful hook thrown by Garethar, but really no danger there for Islamic Samurai and Federer, so nicely navigated by them. And Flying Squirtle just clearing up on his top side. Blazed Cake's been knocking down his camps about as fast as they've been spawning. Hasn't got a whole lot done other than that, though. A little bit of damage onto Vrang. He's getting close to being in danger range. Now the exhaust coming through, and Cake will just finish him off with the combo. X-Craze able to get out. Still has the Chrono Shift available should he want it. And we're still getting aggressive in mid lane, but 2 kills on Blazing Cake feels pretty good early. You'd like to get the Twitch involved as well, but having the Graves ahead is one of the big marks. Vbon playing Ornn and buying Executioner's Calling. I always love this. This is the Ornn main tech, I guess. You can apply Executioner's Calling on your Q and E because they do physical damage.
Yeah,
So
and
rather than
it's
buying
just
Bramble, it's actually just more aggressive in lane. You can like choose when you're actively applying the heal debuff. Ren gonna get pretty low, but I don't think he's in any particular danger. Flying Squirtle coming in. They still have Chrono Shift available, so this isn't gonna be super successful, I think, for him. Cake able to dash out. Just goes into melee range and assassinates the Victor. He even gets the Lantern back out. What a play by Garithar! Able to find the double kill for Cake. And now Benji looking for Federer in the bottom lane with the Rat-a-tat coming on through. He's got the Contaminate. Where's the damage? The heal is just enough to keep Federer alive.
really nice sequence there for Return of the Middle Sticks. Looked pretty good.
I just really like
Yeah.
the play by Garithar, though. He had the hook, he had the max range hook in one way, max range lantern the other way, pulls in the graves. That was really nicely done.
Yeah, no, that was pretty. I love watching Thresh plays like that. I think one of the better ones to do it in, at least in the West, was when Biofrost was playing in Double Lift's lane, the Thresh meta. That was super fun to watch.
Yep. All right. Well, Eclipse finished up for Cake. We'll get the ornament experience here later on. We'll check once we get all of those in for my analyst knowledge, although that might give him time to Google it here in the background. Kind of interesting. Federer went for the Kraken Slayer as his mythic.
Yeah, I like this a lot, even if it's not the Ornn tech specifically for being able to apply it on physical damage spells. You just, if you're a tank, you buy Executioners against Vladimir because Vladimir never autos you. That's not real. You can't expect your Bramble to create anti-healing for you on a champion that only uses spells.
Yep. Second dragon picked up for VBU though. Vrang gonna pop his ult onto X-Craze, who's got the little speed boost to get on out of there. But yeah, the dragon stacking has been kind of an issue for both ROTM teams tonight, at least. They've been getting behind the 8 ball on those dragons early on and have had trouble contesting them later on. Bot lane getting a decent trade on Islamic Samurai. Getting a little chunk onto Benji, though. Oof, the zap starts to hurt just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. That's
Gonna get the
tad bit
hook onto
painful.
Islamic
Good hook.
Samurai, but Federer coming in. He still has his ultimate available, so they have to be pretty careful. There's the ult coming out, actually. Does he have the Contaminate still? It doesn't matter. The Rat-a-tat over the wall. Is it Rat-a-tat now? I can't remember. Is it back to
I'm
spray
pretty
and
sure
pray?
it's back to Spray and Pray.
Okay, well.
It is. It's back to Spray and Pray. They can't make up their minds.
I actually like both names, so I'm not opposed to either one in particular.
No, I don't have a strong feeling either way. I just appreciate the consistency. So.
Yeah. Unlike Lux's, I actually like both names.
Yeah, true. The last, the other
Finalis
ult name that gets changed.
Yeah. Oh, Garithar is still looking for a little bit more. Going to flay in. They have the Galio ult back in response. Benji has to navigate this one super well. Able to flash out. Garithar getting taunted up, and it looks like he might be the sacrifice for this play. He's down to 100 health. Gets the heal from the potion. The exhaust from Islamic Samurai. Oh, not quite able to find the hook. That might have been able to turn it 1-for-1. Vrang getting exhausted underneath his tower. He's got the stopwatch.
That was a really nice stopwatch.
Damage, but the Chrono Shift going to prevent him from dying, and now he comes back at full health for some reason and just kills him. Alright, well.
Yeah, it's a... Man, Zillion is a trip. Truly.
I didn't think he'd come back at that much health. How much is it?
Oh, yeah.
1,100 health, or 1,010 health, excuse me, right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Which,
couple.
you know, at level 10 is most people's full health bar.
Yeah. Alright, well, they're going to drop the Rift Herald into mid lane, Flying Squirtle trying to defend, but won't be able to do a whole lot other than watch his tower die here in a second. And RTM picks up their first tower of the game. 7-3 kill lead. Have a 1,500 gold lead as well, but again, the dragons not in their favor right now. They can 4-stack a Cloud Dragon. That's kind of neat, I guess. Garothar's on his way to top lane. Maybe looking for Panzora. Vibon has his ult available, but I think Panzora should still have pools, so probably not going to get anything too substantial off of this one. And now even Islamic Samurai headed up, and Garothar might be the one in trouble. He's got to be careful about the way that he plays this, but just going to back out.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the I'm walking top lane to clear vision because I'm not actually ganking Vladimir. That's not a thing. Sometimes you just move to the other side of the map for vision score.
Yeah. X-Cray's trying to find the double bomb. Not going to get a whole lot there. Hook onto Islamic Samurai. Just going to force that one away. Nothing really happening here around mid lane for the time being. And now...
I feel like it's a great takeaway, but X-Trays is usually the type of player who wants to be on something a little more impactful and active than Zillion is. Not that, you know, Zillion ult isn't impactful, but it's not aggressive enough. It's not proactive.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to do things like dash in on Ahri and charm people.
Benji also with the Kraken Slayer, so we have most of our mythics completed in the game, just our supports unfortunately lagging behind. Support lives matter. Not like that much, but a little bit, right?
Yeah, at least, you know, a modicum of they matter about as much as 300 gold matters to you.
I'm a support player currently, by the way. We're not biased here on this cast.
I've been a support player longer than any other competitive role.
At least it's not like Season 2, where you just matter as long as you can have an oracles on your head.
Yeah. That was, oh man, don't remind me.
Dark times.
No, in fact, they were quite lit.
Very.
I
Exceedingly,
mean,
in fact.
Yeah, because there was no ward limit.
Well, damage down on this top lane tower and a Rift Herald in exchange for a dragon, the big play happening on the map right now. Vbon going to walk in and spot flying Squirtle doing this, but they're actually outnumbered on this side of the map, so they have to be careful about the way that they play this. Just some bombs coming out. Garothar, oh, the hook out of the Justice Punch, actually, on Islamic Samurai. Do they have the damage to finish off the Galio, is a question I didn't know I needed to ask. Flying Squirtle finishes off the Rift Herald, able to pick up the... no, he doesn't pick up the eye, but Islamic Samurai jumps in and does. But over the wall, another good hook from Garothar lands onto Federer, and it's 3 kills for ROTM out of kind of a little broken play around the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and I mean, wow, Garethar continues to impress me on this Thresh. He's just kind of facilitating all of the team fights. So like, okay, you guys got that one, cool. I've got the next one lined up for you right over here. Somebody take this lantern.
Yeah, and I really like specifically his... if this were like a traditional sport, you talk about his vision, right? He's not looking at the active play being happening. He's looking ahead to the next one and able to find it. It's been really impressive. Like, he's secured extra kills in basically every fight so far this game. So, super cool to see. 5-0-1 right now for Blazing Cake. He's been doing a lot of the right-clicking work and doing it pretty well thus far. But we got to watch out. Islamic Samurai has the Rift Herald available in his pocket. And we'll see what he can find with that.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about like paths back into the game for the team that's pretty far behind. They only really look like they're super far behind. It's only about a 3,000 gold differential actually, and you know, Jinx still 2-1, little CS lead, going to the Church of LS where, you know, I mean, it's not expected that you would build Executioner's second on Jinx specifically. It's more of a thing for, you know, other characters that were already. But LDR, good item. We like that one. And well on their way to it is Federer.
Yep, and Vbon now beginning the ornament experience. He's got his Frozen Fist. Would you like to lay out the other 4 items for our viewers here? Well, never mind. Islamic Samurai going in for the Justice Punch. Oh, hook not quite going to land there from Garothar to try to turn that one around. And nothing really happening here around the mid lane.
So we've got I know this one, which is going to be the last one built. It's like Reliquary of the Golden Dawn or something like that.
Yeah,
Um, I'm pretty sure Kraken Slayer becomes Wormfallen Sacrifice,
that's a good
unless they
one.
change that one.
Yep, no, that's good.
Everfrost, I'm not gonna know that one, and
Yeah,
I
that
don't know if I've got Eclipse either. I think Dark something.
it's Syzygy, which is the alignment of the sun, moon, and earth in one.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
Which is a cool word, but also really weird to say. There's a big team fight happening. Knockup gonna land on the Panzora from Vbon. They're trying to track down the Vladimir. Is just such a space threat. They're like I lost my words. I'm just stumbling over him. It's a double kill for Blazing Cake as he jumps in, looking for a little bit more. He finds the triple kill. Benji trying to go forward, looking for Squirtle and Federer. Benji into melee range. They finish off X-Craze. Vbon trying to walk back in. Federer gets a big shutdown onto Benji. Now they're under a lot of threat. Squirtle low on the top side, but it's a triple kill for Federer. Can they finish off the Jinx? Cake is in, but he dashes forward. It's a quadra kill for Federer, and it's just Garethar left alive against Squirtle and Federer. Can he finish off the Jinx? Is it the pentakill? It's the pentakill for Federer. The Jinx popping off that fight.
Wow, that was kind of insane, given that the way that started off looked totally fine for Return of the Middle Sticks. The fact that Federer ends up not dying and is able to stay in the fight and output enough damage to end up with Penta. I just want to check something real quick before he recalls. Yeah, that's about right. 3,500, almost 3,600 gold in the pocket of this Jinx. Now up to 10k, or 500 ahead of his counterpart in Benji. This just got a lot more difficult for Return to the Middle Sticks. If you can't get onto this Jinx, you're in trouble.
Yeah, Cake was 2 autos away from a Penta himself that fight. Crazy team fight there. And it's still actually a 1,000 gold lead after the pentakill in favor of Return to the Middle Sticks. But you have to be a little bit careful about how you play it after that. You get pentakilled, and all of a sudden, there's a big target now on Federer's back. That's always one of the risks, I think. Sometimes you get a pentakill, and then it's hard to get kills the rest of the game because you got 5 people who know that you're the threat. It's no longer a split focus between Jinx and Victor. It's now we're going to kill Jinx in these team fights or else we lose.
Yeah.
Squirtle coming
Syzygy
in.
finished up now for Blazing Cake as this fight's looking like it's about to start off. A bunch of abilities kind of being tossed over the gap, but yeah, that plus the Collector and the Last Whisper, almost about on par in power with Federer's Jinx. The Lord Dominic's Regards finished up.
Yeah, Dragon started
Huge
up
fan of
here.
that.
Very low. Cake able to finish that one off. Now they're starting the fight onto Vbon, trying to get the pull back out. He's got the Chrono Shift as well. It's a huge ultimate from Vrang though, as he's getting a lot of damage done with that Chaos Storm. The Ornhorn coming through, but he isn't alive to hit the rest of it. It's the one in exchange for the Dragon. And RTM, I don't know if they'll be completely happy with that. Cake though finds Vrang and just eliminates him. Trades that one back. So 1-for-1 on the fight. X-Craze though caught on the wrong side of that pillar. That was a dirty pillar though from
That was
Flying
a
Squirtle.
great pillar. Yeah, that was nuts. Props to Flying Squirtle for that. That angle is actually a lot harder to hit than you think it is.
Ooh, Cake caught on the other side. He's got the exhaust on him, so he can't get his damage done, and it's a shutdown going to Panzora. Now the zap comes through. They finish off Benji. It's a double kill now for Panzora, and another one cleaned up for Federer. It's an ace for VBU, and now they'll head to the Baron.
Yeah, you can feel Cake is like chomping at the bit with his newfound gold and items. He knows how much damage he does, but Islamic Samurai holding that exhaust for basically the one real damage threat in this game right now for Return of the Middle Sticks, and you can't get a lot done if you don't have that, or you don't have enough time for it to fall off before you can drop the rest of your damage in. Also, no collateral damage, use that to finish off Varang, so having them all lined up like that for Q plus ulti, and then you don't have the ulti, kind of feels bad, actually.
Yeah, even harder when you have the exhaust on, but Baron picked up for VBU. They have their first goal lead of the game at 3,000, and now can ROTM find the big team fight turnaround that they need in order to claw their way back into the game? We've seen these games swing on nothing before, and we'll see if it happens again. But for now, it's VBU in the driver's seat. I hate that phrase. I should say it, but you know.
They
Every time
do
they
have the
say
run of
that
the
on,
map, though.
yeah, every time they say that on LCS and LEC, I kind of roll my eyes internally, which is kind of dangerous, by the way, when your eyes go internal. Um,
Yeah, yeah, no, little bit, for sure.
well, the split push Zillion, if you had that on the bingo card, you can check that one off as he gets the top lane tower.
Not gonna admit, not on my season 12 list. Um, though it doesn't feel super inappropriate for this game, actually, somehow.
Cake's on top of a ward, so this is known. They're still maybe looking for this one, but Benji and X-Craze Hokage still staying in the fog of war. The push slowly in on both sides for VBU as Vladimir and Victor in the side lanes. Bomb's not quite going to land. They just don't have the initiation right now. Cake gets spotted. That's a lot of damage just from 2 autos. He's looking for it. He goes in and assassinates Federer. It's a huge shutdown. He gets killed himself, though. The knockup from Orr not quite going to land. The hook lands on Islamic Samurai, but there's just no damage left. X-Craze and Benji separated from the squad, and in come the teleports now for VBU. 4v4 in the mid lane as Vbon trying to keep them off of this turret. Flying Squirtle taken pretty low. Benji getting a lot of damage down the spray and pray. Over the top does quite a bit. They take down the Trundle, and they're able to defend the tower for the time being.
That was really nice. Imagine with me for a moment a world in which X-Craze is somehow in position to get a chrono shift down before that play happens. Would have been insane. I was going to bring up a point of analysis before Blazing Cake just went ape mode on Federer and trades himself out for the other damage dealer in the video game right now. That I actually love these two champion combos because of an interaction that could have just happened there. If you'd given Vibon like a little bit more time to get 1 or 2 minions dead, you can actually use Zillion passive to level up Ornn to get another slightly earlier ornament in before a team fight. I've seen it done a couple of times, and it's always super satisfying because there's just a line from one character to another while they stand there to buff themselves up. It's like being in the hyperbolic time chamber a little bit.
Yeah, Cake finding that ward that he was caught on earlier. Dragon going to spawn here in 20 seconds. This is, again, this is Dragon 3 for both teams, but we haven't seen either team today back down from a Dragon fight when it's happened. 16 to 14 in kills. I honestly don't mind Cake trading himself for Federer. I don't want him to trade himself for Vrang, though. That's a little bit of damage coming down. He's just trying to sustain back through it. Now going to get caught in the taunt. Vrang doing enough damage. The Chrono Shift is there from X-Craze, but now not available for the rest of the fight. Trying to kite back away. Panzora is able to just assassinate Blazing Cake on the backside. In comes the Galio ult. The retreat from Return of the Middlesticks is big, and Benji able just to stay alive through the Vladimir ult.
Blazing Cake is just a little bit too impatient for the plays that he's making. The Chrono Shift comes down, but then where are you supposed to go? You're already so far in, and nobody's really there to like immediately jump to your rescue. Not a lot of superb movement on the rest of the squad outside of X-Craze speeding up somebody.
I was going to say, I don't mind Cake trading himself for Federer, because I feel like your 4v4 is still stronger for Return of the Middlesticks when that happens. But if you're trading yourself for Vrang, that's not a good trade.
No,
Because
and if you can
Federer's
get
still
the
alive.
kill on Vrang without dying, that's
Yeah.
preferable, obviously. I don't think you lose the 1v1 to Vrang ever. Crown be damned, but you know, when you take long enough to get through everything that Vrang has available to him, the crown included, and you don't end up getting him and die, then it's a problem.
Cake and Gareth are just swooping on through. They're going to find a little Islamic Samurai there and get about 80% of his health. Never mind, 100% of his health. Cake able to finish him off. A little early on the Chrono Shift there from X-Craze, but it'll be back up soon.
Yeah, we're not quite. Oh, we are 16, so yeah, it's about 35 right now. That sounds about right.
Yeah, Vbon
This is an experience.
getting
This
the...
is why you pick the character into Ornn. Because eventually that just happens and you can't really do anything about it. You don't have any magic resist, and even if you did, late game Vladimir is kind of still late game Vladimir.
Yeah. V-Bon.
You also just get Magic Pen for having Hextech Rocket Belt, which is why it's a better item than Night Harvester or whatever it's called.
Yep, Hook not gonna land from Garithar. Federer just chasing him off of their destroyed tower. And VBU again pressuring their way in. Baron has just spawned, so Flying Squirtle and Federer headed back that way. They'll meet up with Islamic Samurai. Panzora has teleport available, so does Vrang if needed, as Cake just trying to get into a pocket of vision here. X-Craze gets the double bomb. That's nice to start it off, but Garithar is very low. They cannot bring in, they can bring in V-Bon, but they can't bring in Benji. He's got to clear that wave and then get to this area where this Baron fight could be happening. Flying Squirtle still chilling a little above half health. He'll regen slowly though. And for now, it looks like VBU not interested in the Baron just yet.
Yeah, and they don't really have to be, right? Like, we have already seen Panzora winning this side lane matchup against Vbon. He's gonna have wave at tower pretty soon. They both have TP, but you're already getting what you want out of the side lane, and
Oh, Hook gonna
ooh,
land onto
good hook.
Vrang. It isn't gonna amount to anything though. Just gonna get that crown off of him and a little bit of
On cooldown
chip
experience.
damage. Yeah.
Although, you know, that it's a pretty low cooldown overall. It's about in line with your average Banshee's Veil. So
Your average Zillion ult. Um,
actually beats it out, surprisingly. Really something.
Still,
We're getting close. Vibon, one more upgrade to give out before he has to hit 17 for the last one. So that few more stats up on Everfrost, never hurt anybody. Has to get up to mid to hand that out though at some point.
yeah, still just trying to push out this bottom lane. Panzora can basically go wherever he wants on the map. There's not an individual that I think could really challenge him. Maybe Cake, but if you're putting Cake to assign to the Vladimir split push, there's probably something going wrong. And even then, I don't know that he wins it. Like, Vladimir on 4 items is just a menace.
Yeah, no, it's a gamble either way because he's definitely your strongest player to go after a target like that. But Vladimir is a different experience in the late game. Has the Zanyas as well, Death Cap. I mean, there's not a lot that you can do about this character right now.
Yeah, Vrang retreating here from the top lane as the rest of the squad getting mid-prio right now for VBU. They're trying to set up to get something done with this Baron. Blazing Cake getting some damage down onto Flying Squirtle. And big double bomb actually going to land onto Islamic Samurai. The hook on to Federer. He's forced to flash back out. Can they finish him off before these teleports come through? Cake flashes in. Zanya's from Federer. He finishes off Flying Squirtle. They finish off Federer as well. Panzora, though, onto the backline. Just assassinates the Twitch. Vbon left with Vrang and Panzora. Gets some knockups, trying to do anything that they can. The hook gets pulled away by Panzora. Can they track down this Vladimir? That's the last bit of drama left in this team fight. Panzora still just doing so much damage. The hook lands from Garithar. They're going in. They get the knockup. Cake finishes him off. It's a shutdown. 1,000 gold going into his pocket. And ROTM finds the big team fight win.
That was really good layered CC on Panzora
Vrang!
after that hook. Oh, nice.
Into the double bomb, into the
Yep.
shotgun for the ace, and Return of the Middle Sticks now can claim their 3rd dragon of the game.
We're going all 7 of them. Love it. That was really good layering of the CC on Panzora there at the end of that. He didn't even get to use his hourglass before dropping. Easy extra 1,000 gold into Blazing Cake's pocket, and man, you know, sometimes you just have a Graves that's this big.
Yeah, but now VBU respawning, headed to get some vision down on this Baron side. We didn't even see the Ornn upgrades coming through on the last 2 characters, even though he's level 17. Been a little busy, I guess, farming it up here in the side lane, but yeah, absolutely huge team fight win for Return of the Middle Sticks. Just it felt like one more team fight win and the game was over for VBU, but instead clawing it back a little bit from the brink. Didn't really shrink the gold total that much, but not losing your Nexus is something in and of itself. But yeah, game 1 went to Crowstorm, game 2 to VBU, and now here we are in game 3. 35 minutes in. VBU grouped up around the Baron. In comes Return of the Middle Sticks to try to contest. Blue buff gonna spawn. Don't think that they really want to fight over it. Cake's gonna just take it with the end of the line anyway. X-Craze poking in. Really tense situation. No one wants to walk in and hit the Baron though. So this isn't terminal, and we still have 3 minutes to go before we get a Cloud Soul spawn, which at this point doesn't feel game ending anyway.
No, we're gonna Baron dance for quite a while here. We're gonna keep throwing abilities across this canyon until something sticks, and whoever it sticks on, the number of things that have been loaded up and ready to go for each team for a while, they're just gonna die.
Oh, hooked just a little wide there, Vrang. V-Bon
Trying
to get something
one
done
flash
with the glacial
apiece.
proc. Yeah.
One flash apiece for both of these squads. All the ultimates are all ready to go and everything. That's not a concern. But summoner spell usage very limited for this next engagement, unless it goes the full distance. I mean, we've got quite a few coming up from that last team fight. You can see almost all of the flashes are actually synced up across all the members who have it down.
The Everfrost is upgraded to Eternal Winter, by the way.
I knew that one. I'm upset with myself.
I didn't know that one. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that one. Oh.
And
now VBU. Calling the bluff. They're going to go ahead and start up the Baron. In comes Return of the Middle Sticks just to try to contest. They're spotted out by V-Bon. Still staying on it for the time being. Panzora going to be a threat over here on the flank. RTM still threatening the walk in, and now Baron going to de-leash. Flying Squirtle chunk down to about half, a little over half. And again, we dance away into the night.
yeah, it feels like this is going to be the decasting experience for the next couple of minutes until we have something to draw the attention away from the large purple worm. And like you said, Cloud Soul, not exactly the most tempting of options either, so.
Yep. Back now for Blazing Cake as he finishes up his build. Just slaps in there with the Infinity Edge, and now feeling pretty comfortable.
Yeah, now he's got
his
something
6
that's
items.
finally more expensive than his mythic.
RTM for the first time able to actually get into the pit and clear out the ward that was sitting in there, so that's at least some benchmark to things that have been happening. Panzora going to go ahead and split push down on this bottom side. He's got his teleport available. Franga has his. I would kind of like to see them return to that 1-3-1 and maybe try to draw Return of the Middle Sticks to side lanes. I think that that's where VBU's line in to this Baron is, but they're still just maintaining such a tight group in. Islamic Samurai has his ult to join. Kind of a wishful hook, but they're going to catch the jungler. They eliminate him, and Flying Squirtle's off the map. Now the 5v4 on the map means that the Baron is called for Return of the Middle Sticks. 8,000 health. They're chunking through it. Vrang from the side, trying to get the gravity well down. He's on to X-Craze Hokage. Doesn't have the chunk through, but he does get killed. No Chrono Shift. And now they finish off the Baron. V-Bon just trying to hold ground here in the mid lane as Federer and Islamic Samurai come through. Now Recall's coming through. Can Vrang interrupt any of them? He walks in, he interrupts Garithar. That's maybe not the big target, though, as the 2 marksmen were able to recall. Blue turret destroyed in the bottom lane, but everybody else is going to be able to get out. So the 1 pick for 1, but the Baron goes to Return to the Middle Sticks. But the big prize, maybe, in quotation marks, is going to be this Cloud Soul now that is suddenly spawned. Benji and Cake flying through, looking for Vrang, get a big chunk out of him. More shots going on to Islamic Samurai. They're burning down the dragon. In comes the Ornhorn. They're going to get a Oh, two-man knockup. The hook lands onto Vrang. They've taken out the Victor. But the Cloud Soul, being warned by the members of VBU, can they get out of this situation? Knockup from Vbon, not quite going to land. They're going to get the slow with the little tiny pillar. The knockback on the auto isn't quite there, but Benji has some move speed to try to close the gap. They get the slow. This Tier 1 tower is still alive. They have Panzora segmented off. Can they actually finish off the Vladimir without losing anyone? He just zips on through. What a fast man he is. The hook not quite going to land onto Flying Squirtle. Vbon in trouble, getting low, getting beat down by Flying Squirtle. Benji trying to kite with that spray and pray. And Federer is so low, but he's just able to live. He's burning to the dot, and he dies to Benji Peach. And that's going to be the big turning point, I think. Cake flashes forward, not quite able to find the end of the line. He's got the lantern there if he needs it. This Tier 1 tower is still alive. Cake looking for a little bit more healing on every single auto back through. Islamic Samurai is down. Cake is legendary. Garithar is left on minion escort duty as they head into the mid lane potentially to try to break open some inhibitors.
It's just disgusting what some of these characters do once they hit level 18. I mean, you just watched you just watch Cake with his insane movement speed move through like a tower and a half. Oh man.
Inhib down. ROTM still looking to threaten here. 16 seconds to go on Federer. Flash Everfrost looking for Vrang. Not quite able to find him. Garithar can't find the hook on to Panzora. Chrono Shift is used, but Vrang is down. Garithar burning down. Going to be able to survive, but they just have the one cannon minion, and now ROTM forced to evacuate the base.
Yeah. I mean, it's so difficult to exist on the map with a Graves like this. You just saw you just saw Vrang walk in to try and get some extra damage down onto Garithar, super low. I don't know if he was quite I mean, he wasn't quite up to 3/4 HP, but he was definitely over half when the first auto from Cake removed him from the map.
Yeah, so our full build boys are Graves, Jinx, and Vladimir in this game. Everyone else still with a little bit of scaling left to go. You could make
Or
an
a lot,
argument, yeah, or
depending
a
on how
lot.
you look at it.
You could maybe argue that Garithar's there.
Yeah, he needs to keep the slot for control words, so I could see it. I mean, you could purchase the
Ward
ward stone,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't give him it quite yet, but he's
X-Craze
close.
gets the stuns down. Looking for Islamic Samurai, they just take down the support. That's maybe not the biggest pick. Poor Islamic Samurai still level 13 in this game. Everyone level 18
Yeah.
for Return of the Middle Sticks. Garithar's even 17. Vbon, though, is a little bit caught. Breaks the pillar with his charge. And he's going to be able to escape for the time being. Cake doing some damage on this turret. Now going forward. Oh, he finishes off Federer into the GA. X-Craze in, has the Chrono Shift on him. Benji with the spray and pray, looking for the damage. Oh, the rocket takes down Vbon on the backside. Everybody's just rezzing on the backside of this fight. They're still looking for more. Flying Squirtle is just a menace. He's so tanky. He's healing up everything. Garithar and Blazing Cake, the last two left alive. Garithar segmented, can't get away, and it's just Cake left alive against the onslaught from VBU. And it might not even be that. In comes Panzora. They shut him down. They take him out. It's the ace now for VBU Monster Mash. And the teleports into the bottom lane to maybe look to end.
That was an absolutely disgusting play from Panzora there. Just gets the Hextech Proto Belt forward into the classic Vladimir combo. Ult down, EW, walk forward, burn 2 GAs. Just, you know,
They might be able
you're
to end.
ordering
All
lunch on
five
a
are
Tuesday
up.
afternoon.
They're chomping down on these Nexus turrets. Vbon is up in 8 seconds. These turrets are very tanky, but in come the minions now with Panzora escorting them in. Vbon is up in 1. I don't think they can defend. That's going to be game. All of a sudden, off of the back of that, the taunt comes through. Islamic Samurai, they're focusing on the Nexus. Mid lane Hokage can't do enough. And VBU steals the game here in the last seconds. 44 minutes in, they take the 2-1 win over Return of the Middle Sticks.
Absolutely barn burner late game team fight. What a finisher. I mean, I was skeptical of the Vladimir pick, to say the least, but really showing, you know, why it's still a tier 1 late game pick. in League of Legends, even in this current meta where, you know, you don't see Vladimir played very often.
Yeah, and that was the game 3 that you always hope for in these series. Both teams just throwing haymakers back and forth, and it turned out the last one thrown by VBU knocks Crowstorm down to 2-2 on the year. But I, with the way they've been playing, I have a feeling that this isn't the last we're going to see from them. So, um, yeah, an 0-2 week, unfortunately for the Platte boys. Some rough games mixed in, but um, really well played by VBU in this one. And yeah, I guess we'll be back tomorrow. Senior division action. We've got the Masters team taking on uh, OMT Chaos, and we'll have that game starting at 7. I think Lane is going to be casting with me, so should be fun. So, um, from me and Oath, thank you guys for watching tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow night. I don't know if I have anyone to raid. I know.
Maybe not.
Let's look on Twitch. Is there someone I can spot really quick that I know? Kind of weird that there's no leagues happening right now. League. Yeah, I don't even recognize people. Yeah. Oh well.
I from like Casey Game On, Nesua is streaming currently.
Oh. Yeah.
I haven't talked to him in well over half a decade.
Yeah. I think we'll just end it here. Have a good night, guys.
That sounds cool.